Disclaimer. This show is for discussion and entertainment purposes only. The Finding Gnosis Show is a platform for open discussion, exploration, and opinion sharing. The views expressed by hosts, guests, and participants are personal opinions and do not constitute professional, medical, legal, or financial advice. All topics discussed are only intended to spark curiosity, entertain, and encourage independent thought. If any subject interests you, we strongly advise conducting your own thorough research using reliable and professional sources. Critical thinking and due diligence is key. Stay curious, stay informed, be well, be lucky, and don't be an arsehole.
Through the cosmic indifference and through despair, we dig for meaning that might be there. No promises of comfort or bliss, just truths we strive not to dismiss. This is the Finding Gnosis Show, where illusions break and deeper truths grow. Philosophy and thought light the way through the dark toward a brighter day. Not endless struggle, but a fight worth the cost, seeking the meaning we thought was lost. Pessimism asks, why even try? We answer with questions reaching the sky. A critique of the systems, the myths we hold. A reflection on truths both stark and bold. Depressive realism clears the haze, while hope takes root in critical gaze. We search for a path, no matter how steep, to find the truths that lay buried deep. This is the Finding Gnosis Show, where illusions break and deeper truths grow. Philosophy and thought light the way through the dark toward a brighter day. Not endless struggle, but a fight worth the cost, seeking the meaning we thought was lost. Promise ease, we don't promise rest, but a journey to uncover what's best. In cosmic indifference we still find might, to question, to change, and to ignite. Welcome to Finding Gnosis, where truth takes a stand. Together we search, together we understand. Through reflection, critique, and bold exploration, we strive for meaning and revelation. The journey begins, the truth will unfold. This is the Finding Gnosis Show. Through the cosmic indifference and through despair, we dig for meaning that might be there. No promises of comfort or bliss, just truths we strive not to dismiss. This is the Finding Gnosis Show, where illusions break and deeper truths grow. Philosophy and thought light the way through the dark toward a brighter day. Not endless struggle, but a fight worth the cost, seeking the meaning we thought was lost. Pessimism asks, why even try? We answer with questions reaching the sky. A critique of the systems, the myths we hold. A reflection on truths both stark and bold. Depressive realism Pessimism clears the haze, while hope takes root in critical gaze. We search for a path, no matter how steep, to find the truth that lay buried deep. This is the Finding Gnosis Show, where illusions break and deeper truths grow. Philosophy and thought light the way through the dark toward a brighter day. Not endless struggle, but a fight worth the cost, seeking the meaning we thought was lost. Promise ease, we don't promise rest, but a journey to uncover what's best. In cosmic indifference we still find might, to question, to change, and to ignite. Welcome to...
Yes, welcome to Finding Gnosis, the Finding Gnosis Show, number 21. I do hope you're well. If you want to come on at this stage of the show, you're welcome to. You can come on at any moment that you please. Last Minute Lacey is already here. Hello to Last Minute Lacey. Lovely to have you with us, as always. So, let me know if you can hear me okay. I know the audio can be a bit of a problem, but I hope that it's working adequately now. Tonight, we will be looking at instinct, okay, intuition, the power of it, what it is, whether you should follow it, that gut feeling, whether it's something good or whether it's something that will get you into a whole lot of trouble. So I'm sure many of you might have an opinion on that. I know lovely Last Minute Lacey was a bit excited about this one, which is good. It's good to generate some enthusiasm. Otherwise, what's the point? So you can join the panel using the link in the live chat. I will go into just presenting some slides, to get our brains going. So where are we? We'll go with these ones first, I suppose. Here we go. And it's instinct is an animal behavior, so it's part of our nature. So we'll look at this presentation here, and we'll delve into the animalistic side of nature, of instinct, and see what it's all about, eh? So, types of animal behavior. Thank you to Dr. Karma here from the Department of Zoology at Visva Bharati. Thank you very much, Dr. Sama, or Dr. Karma, sorry. Right, expected outcomes. So, from this presentation, apparently, we'll be able to know what are individual behavior, what we'll be able to classify as different individual behaviors, and we'll be able to describe and identify individual behaviors. Okay, if you say so, Dr. Karma. Okay, right, on we go. A little picture here of some, I don't know, various emotions. What is individual behavior? Certain individual characteristics are responsible for the way an organism behaves in daily life situations, as well as reacts to any specific situations. These characteristics are categorized as inherited characteristics or learned characteristics. Hello to Brother Marcus, as always. Greetings to you, sir. I'm going to turn off the background. I know that's reduced background noise. Yes, that's reduced. Okay, I'll turn up my volume a bit. There we go. Best I can do, I'm afraid, at the moment. Inherited characteristics. Okay, so they're either inherited characteristics or learned characteristics. That's about our behavior. Okay. Inherited characteristics can be formed of innate and instinctual behaviors. So instinct behaviors. These are automatic, developmentally fixed. So they're fixed via our development, okay? And despite different environments, all individuals exhibit the behavior, okay? So an anthropologist can go out into the four corners of the world and see that no matter if you're in Timbuktu or Tooting, if you're in Shanghai or Los Angeles, there are certain behaviors, okay, that individuals exhibit innately. They come from within. All right, it's okay, Brother Marcus. I will get one soon, but I appreciate it. Reflexes. Okay, there are two types of animal movement. Okay, so kinesis and taxis. Taxis. I mean, these are the two types of animal movement. Apparently, okay. Probably not spelling. Probably not pronouncing that properly. But you got like something kinetic. Kinetic means to move. And taxis. I don't know. Taxis. I don't know. Kinesis is a response to an environmental condition by changing the rate at which an activity is performed. Okay, so when an organism is in a place that it enjoys, it slows down. Okay, unless it's in a punami and it's really going for it. Sorry, couldn't resist that joke. Anyway, sorry, a bit crude. When an organism is in a place that it enjoys, it slows down, and when it's in a bad environment, it speeds up. Overall, this leads to an organism's spending more time in favorable environments. Okay, so it's about how much time it spends in the favorable environment, the place it likes. You know, it likes to hang around in a place that is, conducive to feeling good. Can't blame it, really. Okay, so that to me is a woodlouse. Anyway, in this person's part of the world, they call them pill bugs. Is that what they call them? I can't. Let me just make my screen bigger because I've got pill bugs. Yeah. So woodlice prefer moist environments. Yeah, I remember picking up rocks when I was a kid and seeing them underneath. You know, the little woodlice world. And apparently, if you look them up, they're related to the lobster quite closely, and they can walk around in water for quite some time, without drowning. Okay, so he's got two petri dishes here. One is dry, one is wet, and basically it was an experiment to see what happens, and it looks like they like to hang around in the wet areas. Well, I suppose it was conducive to their survival. They need moisture. You know, every life form needs moisture. Okay, so taxes. Oh my goodness me! Your cats eat those outside on the balcony, and you call them potato bugs. Well, there you go. I don't know. So potato bugs in Canada, right? Is Brother Marcus going to concur there? Woodlice over here and pill bugs, I would say somewhere in India. I'm not sure if that was India, but I think Dr. Karma, I think he was Indian. Anyway, taxis is taxis. I don't know, taxis is a reflex movement towards positive taxis or away negative taxis from a stimulus. Okay, so taxis is said to be positive if the animal heads directly towards the stimulus, and negative if away from it. Okay. Brother Marcus, last minute Lacey said you call these insects potato bugs. Let me go back. These ones here on the left of the screen. In Canada, you call them potato bugs. In the UK, we call them woodlice. And in India, it seems they call them pill bugs. Anyway. Okay, so taxis is moving towards a stimulus, or moving away from it. So if it's moving towards a stimulus, it's positive. If it's moving away, it's a negative taxis. Okay. Okay, types of taxis. You've got a phototaxis, who's light. Chemotaxis, I'm sure that's chemical induced. And geotaxis is probably the environment, right? The physical environment. So we've got a dry open area here and a moist site under the leaf. kinesis increases the chance that a sow bug will encounter and stay in a moist environment. Okay, so somehow or other it's able to work out it has to go under that leaf. It's driven to do that by its instinct. Okay, it's in a dry area, and it may be, I don't know, maybe the ground is getting wetter as it moves towards the leaf. I don't know what's driving it there. Maybe there's some phototaxis going on. Maybe it's seeing the photons reflect off the leaf. There's a whole lot going on that's driving the bug, the sow bug, to instinctively move towards the leaf and hide under it for moisture, which is necessary for life. Same with the moths here. For some reason, they instinctively fly towards a light when it's on. Maybe they think it's daylight. I mean, I've read the reason before. I suppose I should look it up now, actually. Maybe they think it's daylight and they've got to fly out to, do what they got to do during the day. I'm going to look up why do moths fly towards light. Does anybody here know before I look it up? Why do moths fly towards light? Here we go. Okay, moths fly towards the light because they use it as a navigational cue, instinctively trying to maintain a constant angle relative to a bright source like the moon. And when they encounter artificial lights, they mistake them for the moon, causing them to fly in circles around the light source rather than being directly attracted to it. This is called phototaxis. Yes, so we just heard that, and is primarily due to their reliance on celestial bodies for orientation during nighttime flight. So that is why moths instinctively fly towards light bulbs at night. There we go. Sorry, there's another diagram there, or picture. There's the direction of the river current is flowing that way. Positive rheotaxis keeps trout facing in the current, the direction from which most food comes. I don't know, rheotaxis, we haven't heard of that one yet. We heard of geo. Anyway, trout face into the current, so basically against the way the river is flowing. Let me just see what rheotaxis is. Is it to do with orientation? Is that? What is rheotaxis in biology? Okay, in biology, yeah, rheotaxis refers to the directed movement of an organism. Yeah, so it's orientation. It's how it's presented, how it's presenting itself physically. Or cell in response to a fluid flow gradient, essentially meaning it's behavior. It's a behavior of an organism to orient and move either towards or away from a water current. Okay, so it's actually something indicative of how fish, okay, and things that exist or habitat or habituate water behave. And it says here that sperm cells also practice this rheotaxis, to instinctively maintain position. Okay, there you go. Okay, so there you go. It might be sperm cells in water, though, because obviously fish do spurt their load in the streams, as it were. I'm not sure. I don't think it would be fish, but I don't think it would be sperm inside a lady. But they are driven instinctively as well to do what they do, and I believe that's chemotaxis. They're following the scent, as it were. They're chemically attracted to move onwards. I think there's slight automation going on there. Their flagella are just moving, and that's what's driving them onwards. And the flagella just keep whipping them onwards. And eventually, they come near the egg, and that's where the chemotaxis happens. I suppose that's where they get attracted to the egg and move really towards it and try and get inside it. Okay, kinesis versus taxis. Kinesis is directionless. Okay, taxis has direction. That's an important distinction to remember. So an innate behavior then, it is reflexive or instinctual. So a reflex is an automatic response to a stimulus. Okay, so Pulling your hand away from heat, jumping when you hear a loud noise. These are reflexes, okay? Instinct is something you are born knowing how to do, okay? So it's like your brain is telling you how to do it, okay, rather than it being, and it's kind of, it seems to be more drawn out as well. It's a longer process, okay, with more consequences, perhaps, you know, as in more stuff happens through it. Because when you pull your hand away from the heat, yes, you save yourself from the fire, but you know, once you pull your hand away, that's it, you know. But when you instinctively know how to build a nest, where you're gathering the twigs, you're putting them into position, you're building them into a certain bowl shape, you know, and you're maintaining that. I mean, that's quite something remarkable, isn't it? So it seems to be a much longer. To me, it's still a reflex, but it's a much longer reflexive instinct, you know, innate behavior. But they do categorize it here as an instinct. Okay, so reflex here, you can see the diagram, yeah, touching a hot pan, and then, you know, you recoil from it. And instinct is the turtle on the beach, you know, moving towards the water, okay? Or, you know, moving towards the beach to lay eggs. That's another instinct. Then they kind of driven to do it. I mean, it is quite amazing. That's all those slides. So we will go to some more. And you can't see me at the moment, but that's okay. I can. Oh, I'm there on the right. Okay. So let's have a look for some more slides, are we? Okay, instinct. Again, this is probably about animals. Instinct. Charles Darwin tried to explain the closest definition of instinct, an action which we ourselves require experience of to enable us to perform. When performed by an animal, more especially by a very young one without any experience, and when performed by many individuals in the same way, without their knowing for what purpose it is performed, is usually said to be instinct. Darwin believed that inherited habits, those learned by parents and subsequently passed on to offspring by hereditary inheritance, may play a role in the construction of the instinct of animal. Okay, example, hammock making behavior of caterpillars, egg laying behavior of a cuckoo, etc. And it's got a little picture of the man himself saying a quote for him. The very essence of instinct is that it is followed independently of reason. Instinct in domesticated animals. Domestic animals vary in their mental qualities. These variations of instincts can be inherited or may be influenced by curiosity. In terms of cats, according to Mr. Saint-Jean, one brought home a game bird, another a hare or a rabbit, and another hunted or on marshy ground and almost nightly caught woodcocks or snipes. We should assuredly call these actions natural instinct. Domestic instincts, habits and disposition are so strong and inherited. So yeah, cats, they do say cats have a kind of wild disposition, and dogs, they've retained some of their kind of the feral nature of their ancestors, whereas dogs are a little bit more dependent on humans, or at least a little bit more attuned to being with humans, you know. Like cats can go out and do their thing and be okay. They'd be quite fine without us, I believe. A lot of dogs wouldn't, unfortunately. And yeah, the bond between man and dog, I mean, the way the dogs are able to read human emotions, it's quite amazing. So a cross between a bulldog and a greyhound was given to a whole family of shepherd dogs, which have a tendency to hunt hares. Okay, most of the natural instinct was lost under domestication. That's what this person says. So basically, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know what the hell that bit about the cross between a bulldog and greyhound was on about. But I presume that the mongrel dog, when given to a family of shepherd dogs, it probably did what the other dogs did, or maybe it didn't, depending on its own instincts that were bred into it over time through the generations. Instinct of a cuckoo, egg-laying behavior of a cuckoo is inherited, and it's a great example of instinct. Cuckoos lay her eggs not daily, but at intervals of 2 or 3 days. So they were to make their, so they make their own nest and sit on the eggs, and those first laid eggs hatch firstly, and different aged young found in the same as. Sorry, this is really bad English. I'm sorry. Am I right? Yeah, it's bad English. So the first laid eggs age differently to the other eggs, and basically they hatch first. Yeah, we know that about cuckoos. Basically, cuckoos go around burgling other species' nests, laying their eggs in them. So they lay a cuckoo egg in, say, I don't know, a blackbird's nest or a pigeon's nest, and the cuckoo hatches first, and it gets fed first, and it gets stronger, okay, than the other chicks that eventually hatch. What the cuckoo does is it eventually throws the other birds out of the nest, so it's only the cuckoo left. Okay, and that's kind of what it does. That's its way, and that's all instinctual. It doesn't learn that from watching. It just knows how to do that from the get-go. You know, it's driven to do that. It's driven to chuck other birds out of the nest, and it's driven to, you know, pretend that it is, you know, a blackbird, baby blackbird, for the blackbird parents, who are none the wiser as they feed it and it grows up. An Australian cuckoo lay one egg in a nest. It is not rare to find 2 or even 3 eggs in the same nest. Okay, there you go. A European cuckoo, the offspring of the foster parents, are commonly ejected by themselves. Yes, as I just said, within 2 or 3 days after the cuckoo is hatched. So they do it very quickly. Okay, so the cuckoo gets strong and nabs the food from its foster parents, and very quickly it figures out how to chuck its foster siblings out of the nest. There you go. Slave making instinct. Okay, this remarkable instinct was first discovered in Formica fruitions by Pierre Hubert. This ant absolutely is dependent on its slaves. The males and fertile females do not do any kind of work. The sterile slave makes their nest, feeds the larvae, and determines migration. Okay. Another species, the Formica sanguine, in this species, the males and fertile females are different from their slaves in color and behavior. The master always remains in the nest, and the slaves do all the kinds of work necessary for their survival. Okay, different types of instinct are also found in F. sanguinae in Switzerland. The slave and masters do the work together. Okay, so they've evolved different instincts there. Beehive making instinct. Now this is interesting. Darwin observed and examined and combined all the work done on the beehive. Okay, Pierre Hubert has done research on Melipona domestica hive, their beehive. It forms a nearly regular waxen comb of cylindrical cells. It's quite a remarkable shape, and apparently it's very, very strong. That's why nature has it so that, you know, they evolved to instinctively make this is it hexagon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, hexagonal tunnel-like structure, and woven them together. And apparently it's a very, very strong structure. Stronger than if it had been squares, and yeah, there you go. And makes better use of it than if it was circles. Okay. So anyway, in these cylindrical cells, the young are hatched, and the latter cells are nearly spherical and nearly equal size cells for holding honey. Okay? So they have different types of cells for holding different types of things. Beyond this stage of perfection in architecture, natural selection could not lead for the comb of the honey bee. As far as we can see, it's absolutely perfect in economizing labor and wax. Okay. So. Objection to the theory. Darwin admits that habit may play some unknown role in the development of variation. He provides an example of hereditary characteristics, the birthing of a sterile worker, and that differs in shape, size, and habit from the male and fertile female. Since the variation is inherited, but Darwin could not give any proper reason for this. Okay, Although Darwin cannot pinpoint the means by which these variations are created, but Mendelian genetic mutation theory provides the answer. Conclusion: Darwin's discussion of advantageous mental characteristics in animals implies that organisms have intelligence and that some use this intelligence to survive better in nature. Basically, he tried to explain that instinct and survival of animals in nature is directly connected to each other. Okay. All right. Well, that wasn't very good. Hopefully the next slide is better. Just let me, there's someone who's come here. Just let me try and find the next, delete that one. I didn't like that one. Sorry to whoever made it. I just couldn't be bothered with it. Here we go. Right. Exit full screen. Here we go. Oh, Last Minute Lacey's here. Hello, Last Minute Lacey, darling. How you doing?
Hi, I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. I'm okay. I'll just try and get through these slides, Lacey, and then we can have a good old chin wag. Is that all right?
Yeah, if you want me to read some of them, you can just ask and I'll read it for you, okay?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem reading, but definitely, yeah, but that one, you would agree that one was a bit, I don't know, the words were strangely presented, and
No, I'm just saying if you get tired,
Yeah.
that's all. Just get tired.
Okay.
Just wait in the background, okay? See you.
Okay, instinct and incentive theory of motivation. Okay, this is by Professor Agnes Montalvo from Risla Technological University, wherever that is in the globe. Thank you very much. What is instinct? Instinct or innate behavior is the inherent inclination of a living organism towards a particular complex behavior. Okay. The instinct theory is a major theory in the psychology of motivation. Okay, instinct theory says that animals do something because of innate programming. An example of instinct theory is a spider making a web. Okay. Instinct theory states that all actions and thoughts can be traced back to your instincts. It offers an explanation as to why people behave the way they do. It focuses mainly on a person's biology. According to this theory, a person's actions are a result of their biological programming. The core of this theory is that people are motivated to survive and will do whatever it takes to do so. What is incentive? Incentive, it is the thing that motivates or encourages one to do something. The environment is critical not only in our development, but in determining almost all of our behaviors. Why we act the way we do all the time. Incentives are those stimuli in the environment, both positive or negative, that motivate our behavior. So they get us to do something or to avoid it, positive or negative. Incentive theory of motivation. The incentive theory suggests that people are motivated to do things because of external rewards. Okay, so this is like a psychological theory. For example, you might be motivated to go to work each day for the monetary reward of being paid. Okay, and behavioral learning concepts such as association and reinforcement play an important role in this theory of motivation. Okay, so money, gift, or reward. Okay, so that's the theory of motivation incentives. Okay, let's see if there's anything else we can find. Obviously, that would shape your instinct because if you learn psychologically something is important for you, you know, it's something you want to orient yourself towards, then instinctually you will react positively towards it when you come across it. I suppose it's to do with the competition as well, because if you want money, well, you're going to be positive towards opportunities when it comes in on your horizon, and perhaps it might make you compete with others instinctually because you need it. So yeah, there are psychological drivers, one would think, to our instincts, not just biological. So let's keep going, shall we? What's this one? Done that. Have we done that? Yes. All right, this one. Okay, why trust your intuition? Okay, what is intuition? It's going by that gut feeling that we all get. It's often considered risky, but in reality, we all have the ability to intuit and connect the intelligence of the mind, heart, and gut. Intuition is non-conscious emotional information from your brain or body. Intuition is when you make decisions devoid of analytical reasoning and replaced with emotional information or insight based on experience or other factors. Okay, so it's just something you just think, or you react. You have a decision without any deep level awareness. Three types of intuition: coherence and insight. Okay, implicit learning, subjective intuitive abilities. Hopefully, we'll go into these now. Intuition is a non-conscious emotional information from your brain or body. Okay. Intuition is when you make decisions devoid of analytical reason. Yeah, we've done this slide. Sorry. I know it's repeating it. Sorry. Intuition is when you make decisions devoid of analytical reasoning, and it is replaced with emotional information or insight based on experience or other factors. Okay. What is intuition? Going by that gut feeling. Yes, we've done that. Yes. 4 reasons to listen to your intuition. Okay. Your body is linked in more ways than you can imagine, and listening to the feelings from your mind, heart, and gut requires courage. These feelings are formed using past knowledge and experiences, and leaders should value these instincts. Okay, it's what got you to where you are, I suppose, in life. You know, we are pattern recognizing biological machines, some might say. So if you've seen something before and it's happened again and again, well, it's likely that your brain will recognize that and form a kind of pattern recognition. And if it comes across the same kind of scenario again, it's likely it will tell you that, yeah, this is probably going to go this way. You know, this has a high chance of going this way or that, as in good or bad. So these are the reasons. Sorry. These are the reasons to listen to your intuition, apparently. Number 1, most people, 88% apparently, I don't know where they got these figures from, apologize, believe that intuition serves them well, okay? Yet 76% also scoff at the notion of relying on intuition in the business world. Okay, so it also says give yourself permission to tap into these feelings and make them a part of your daily life. Yeah. Well, I do think that, you know, business is generally that the markets are intuitive, they're emotion based, and it's like people reacting, you know, in the moment, how they feel. They're feeling based things. You know, people buy something because they want to, and people think that something has potential because of prior experience. But I like some of it. You would think it's analytical, but I think there's a lot of emotion based buying. You know, especially in the stocks and shares. You know, a lot of intuition. People don't know much about what's going on in the industry, but they think they do. You know, have a feeling. So they buy the shares and they trade them. It's a bit like gambling horses, really, but without the horses, thankfully. Okay, 4 reasons to listen to your intuition. Continue. 2, your intuition helps you make decisions quickly, and it allows you to adapt to rapidly changing conditions. To spend time playing because you'll have the opportunity to make quick decisions and see how they pan out. It tells you to spend time playing because you'll have the opportunity to make quick decisions and see how they pan out. Playtime is essentially practicing for when your decisions really count. So there you go. So your intuition helps you to make decisions quickly. So all that, what we thought we were doing in childhood, we thought we were having fun, we thought we were playing, but actually what we were doing was simulation of the future. We were pretending to be adults. We were playing doctors and nurses, mummies and daddies. We were playing army. We were playing, like, I don't know what you did last minute, Lacey. Did you dress up dolls or something? You were baking mud pies. You know, you were being explorers. You know, I remember at one point, me and my friends had this infatuation with boating, and we were like trying to build boats all the time, and we were trying to we used to get our atlases, and I used to mark positions in Newfoundland or Africa or Australia that I was going to row my boat to, even though it was full of holes and wouldn't last, it wouldn't last an hour in water. But anyway, I remember just playing as a youngster, and yeah, it is unusual to think of it in that way, that we are animals, and other animals in their youth are just practicing really and learning how to be competent animals, so they can survive, and that's all we're doing as humans as well as children. We're learning how to socialize, we're learning what people are about, and we're learning skills, and we're exploring, we're going out into the world, we're seeing things, and we are developing pattern recognition in our minds by seeing things, because we will come up against the same kind of things again and again. You might come up against weather conditions, personalities, all these types of things, stranger danger, whatever it is. You will come up against situations that happen, and then you will know next time what to do. And that will shape your intuition. Okay, reasons to listen to your intuition here. Don't be afraid of spontaneity, apparently. Okay, I don't know if it's necessarily a reason to listen to your intuition, but anyway, if your intuition is telling you to do something unusual, this presentation says don't be afraid of spontaneity. You can't build the impossible if you can't imagine or dream at first. So when you have a great idea, write it down or act on it. Even if your idea is geared to technology 100 years away, you can't increase intuition and agility if you don't dream big. Okay. Treat that inner voice as a valuable commodity, apparently. You can retrain your brain to help your heart, gut, and mind work effectively together. Intuition is like a muscle. It needs to be exercised or it will shrivel up. If you constantly stamp down on these feelings, they may eventually be silenced. Okay, we wouldn't want that to happen. Okay, well, there's more. Being a leader is more than doing things by the book. By cultivating your own intuition, you will create an environment that allows others around you to explore their own inner voices. The link between the heart, gut, and mind guides us, but only if we have the courage to trust our intuition. And what's in the way of our intuition? Overthinking, apparently. Since intuition is defined as the ability to understand something instinctively without the need for conscious reasoning, overthinking is one of the biggest interferers. And that's interesting, isn't it? Like sometimes we hum and haw over something in our life. Should we or shouldn't we do it? And then others just dive in and do it. And often that's kind of what you got to do, because you just got to do something. You got to grab it by the horns. You got to try and achieve what it is you need to achieve. And that's it, really. I mean, what would you say, last minute, Lacey, about overthinking things? Oh, you're muted. But never mind.
Sorry, no, I'm here. I definitely think that overthinking things will take you away from your initial feeling. It's usually because of the fear and the what ifs, of following that thing that could lead you to something painful rather than something good. So it's about, it's about trust.
So Brother Marcus says, if his intuition got him to where he is now and it's not a good state, then can he really trust his intuition? Well, brother, I mean, it might be the best outcome of what could have been otherwise, which is an interesting way of looking at it. You might have used your intuition to get yourself into a position now, and if you hadn't used your intuition so well, maybe you would have been in a worse position. I mean, as bad as things are, they can be worse, which is another way of looking at it. But you seem to be a survivor, so you seem to be able to know what's what and make your own decisions. So I would say, it's very hard to know, is what I'd say is my honest answer. I don't know. But, you're a very smart chap. So I think you're more than most people able to do this kind of pattern recognition thing and make good estimates of what to do, next. Because that's all it really is. Everything is a guesstimate. We're estimating what it is we should do in any situation, Anyway, what gets in the way? Okay. What's that say? Shoulds. Okay, so you should do something. Okay. Shoulds often enter the picture when you're overthinking, and at other times when you're outwardly focused. Okay, so yeah, outward focus. Yeah, it's very important for us all to ask what we actually want as individuals. To do introspection and to find out what matters for us, to make sure we aren't being swept away by the often insanity of others, or the misguidedness of others. It's important to have your own ability to think basically about what you want and which way you should go, and to try and harness that in your life, utilize it for your own well-being, for your own well-being. What gets in the way of intuition? Anyway, this is it continued. What's it saying? Prejudices and unconscious bias. Okay. Even though prejudices and unconscious biases are in some ways the opposite of overthinking, they still have a similar effect on your intuition. Okay, so let's have a little think about that. Your intuition. Yeah, I mean, society's prejudices would definitely have an effect on people's intuition. If you feel something is right for you, and yet others are saying it's bad, like this is a bit like people who are in the closet, or people who I don't know. There's lots of people who want to. For example, if you're from a background where you're from a religious background, and your intuition is telling you, you don't agree with this religion, all right, or you're from a kind of a culture that is very much, I suppose, claustrophobic in how it keeps you in it. Your dad, for example, might not like you going to get a boyfriend or girlfriend from another culture or another ethnicity, and that would be a prejudice, and that would be something that would be having an effect on your intuition. You would be afraid, perhaps, even though you have an intuitive, feeling or thought that something would be good for you or you'd prefer it. The prejudices of society might hold you back sometimes, unless you can break out. And it does take a strong person sometimes to break away from societal prejudice. It's not very easy. Okay. Unconscious bias as well, something to be wary of, I suppose. Again, that's to do with how you were taught. Maybe also experiences you've had in the past. I mean, maybe intuitions can be wrong sometimes as well. It depends on how many experiences you've had. You might wrongly have like a demographic map in your mind of certain types of people based on just meeting one of them in your life, who happen to be an arsehole, and you have this bias then towards anybody who resembles that kind of person. Whereas that's not really a fair thing to do. If you explored life a little bit more and met more people who shared similarities with that person, you'd realize that perhaps they weren't all like that, or if they did have a similar negative effect on you, you could work out why that was, why you're getting annoyed by it, and you could also work out how you can overcome those negative feelings, and perhaps change your perception. How can you rise above it? Right. A loved one's or authorities figures needs, wants, or opinions or advice. Yeah, so this is like your dad or your mum or your partner or your friends, siblings, whoever. They might stop you from following your intuition. Okay. Often the person who has the greatest power to eclipse or cloud your gut instinct is a loved one or authority figure whose love or approval you wish to win over. For example, a parent, significant other, teacher, or coach. Yeah. The power of personality and the power of being admired. If someone admires you in some way or other, they might want to please you. And sometimes in pleasing you, they give away too much of themselves, so much so that they wouldn't follow their own intuition as to what is right for them. When you badly want something, when you're really hungry for something, whether love, acceptance, children, social status, or something else, your strong desire to fill that gaping need can cause you to overlook or ignore any red flags along the way. Yeah, so that's like anything in life. If you're hyper focused on one area, well, you might be missing out on other areas of life, whether good or bad. And sometimes you might be missing out on the bad parts of life that are causing you not to get what it is you desire as well. So you might be thinking about, for example, love all the time or acceptance from other people. And that might just be a constant theme in your mind. Like, why can't I find love? Why can't I find acceptance in society? But you're not actually thinking, you maybe you're blaming others a lot for that, but you're not thinking about what it is you're doing perhaps wrong sometimes. Sometimes it is a bit of a sometimes there's a problem, as in like where are you looking for it, and how are you carrying yourself? Are you coming across as I don't know, too sullen faced? Are you coming across as somebody who seems like they wouldn't add value to someone else's life? They wouldn't be uplifting or help others. They would be kind. I don't know. There could be many reasons. So what gets in the way of following intuition? Previous trauma or abuse in childhood. Okay, so this presentation, perhaps it's going all over the place. Sorry, guys. Are we going to find it? Crikey. Have we read this? All right, 1 second, guys. It's gone a bit nutty on me. What gets in the way? Oh yeah, so here we go. Previous trauma or abuse in childhood. Okay, so perhaps the most complex and powerful of all culprits that block us from following our intuition as to what is good for us, okay, is having experienced abuse and trauma as a child. Why is that? Because childhood abuse can leave a lasting impact on a person that remains even in adulthood. That damn pesky synaptic pruning. We've got Pamela here. Pamela, how are you doing?
I didn't take anything sneaky. Am I okay?
Yeah, you're okay, darling. Yeah. Are you all right?
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm good, darling. But we're in the middle of a presentation, so is it all right to keep going?
Yeah, just put me on mute for the meantime. I'm listening.
All right. So we have Swiss Cheese David. His apologies. He can't join face to face. He's too ill. But one day he'll get all the way nearly there. All right, Swiss Cheese David. I do hope you recuperate and you feel well speedily. Here we go, brother Marcus. I survive and I am alive. He says yes, but that doesn't mean that he played this game of life well. Okay, but he says agreed. Don't drink poison just because you are thirsty. A nice way of putting it. Okay, right, but onwards. Okay, why trust your intuition? This is the pertinent, fundamental question. How to cultivate your intuition? Okay, slow down and clear your mind. Slow the fuck down and clear your mind of any unnecessary clutter. So when you're living in a cloudy haze and rushing here and there, whether physically or mentally, you miss information. Slowing down helps you better recognize and process the information you receive, not only in your mind, but also in your body. Yes, it's definitely important to slow down, to do some introspection, to do some analysis, and not just be whipped into a frenzy acting on autopilot, because often you're acting on the whims of others, and it may not be conducive to your personal well-being. It may not be where you need to be. Okay. Okay. Notice sensations in your body. Okay, this is how you can cultivate better intuition. That's more beneficial to you. So notice sensations in your body. When are you feeling excited? When are you feeling anxious? When are you feeling sad, angry? All these types of emotions. Notice it. When is it happening? Intuition is grounded within the sensations inside of the body. So learning to recognize what's going on within your body, i.e., what you're feeling, is key to developing your intuition. While we might use the terms feelings and sensations interchangeably to describe intuition, note the slight distinction here. Specifically, we're more interested in understanding how your body feels in response to an emotion. For example, anger feels tight, sore, hot, and tingly rather than simply naming an emotion like sad, angry, or frustrated and stopping there. So, yeah, understand the kind of physical sensation so that you can realize what you're feeling. So if your chest is feeling a bit tighter than, or your breathing is a bit rapid, maybe you're feeling anxious. If you're sweating a bit, maybe you're anxious. You know, these types of physical manifestations of emotion. Recognize them and see, and then think about what is actually happening here. Why am I reacting like this? And this will help your mind to start mapping out reality better so that you can be more intuitive to your likes and dislikes, to what seems to be causing you trouble. And these are things you can perhaps avoid or work on, if necessary. If something is causing you anger or upset, there is a potential that you might be able to overcome that with some work, with some introspection, some thinking about the matter and trying to rationalize it and make sense of it, some self-therapy or even therapy with a professional. Focus on you. Is that building your intuition and making it in your favor? Ask yourself, what do I really need here? What's important for me? This is one of those times when it should be all about you. So give yourself full permission to do so. If you find your focus shifting to other people and their needs, okay, notice and purposefully return your attention back to being curious about what you need and want, because that is where you will find your intuition. Concentrating on these needs helps to more easily prove the pathway is there. So you don't have to give up on others, but when you're around others, you need to be more willing to recognize what you're thinking and what you're feeling about matters, and how it's making you feel. If you're doing, for example, if you're doing some kind of, let's just say you're doing, hypothetically, you're doing some volunteer work or you're doing some work with people because you care about them, but it's hurting you emotionally every day, it's making you feel sad. Well, but yet you feel intuitively you need to help these people, for example. I suppose you can think of a new way of helping them, where you might, I don't know, you might be bringing them, singing them songs or making them food or something that might be more uplifting than, I don't know, changing their nappies or whatever it is you're doing. Take action. Okay, so be proactive. The feeling of intuition is like an ocean current navigating you towards a purposeful life. Once you discover it, you still need to jump in a boat and set sail in order to derive its full value. After you answer the question, what do I need right now? Do something to give yourself what you need. It might be the tiniest step, but size doesn't matter here. So yeah, move towards what it is you desire, what you need. Make a movement towards it. That's a very important action to take. How to cultivate your intuition. Why trust your intuition? Famous examples of intuition. Okay, Henry Ford. Okay, Henry Ford apparently. There's another slide. Yeah, during the decline of demand for his cars and high. Sorry, guys. During the what is going on here? There we go. Famous examples, Henry Ford. During the decline of demand for his cars and high worker turnover in 1914, he doubled his employees' wages. He went against others' recommendations by doing this. Within a year, okay, turnover turned around and demand was back because Ford's own workers could finally afford Ford's cars. Okay, there you go. Worked out for him. Stanislav Petrov. followed his gut, his intuition. In 1983, he defied Russian military protocol. His intuition told him that the early warnings of missile launch by the US were false alarms in the Russian detection system. By following his gut, he prevented a nuclear war between Russia and the US. Okay, so it seems like he's following his gut, but he had been studying reality. He'd been analyzing as he went through life how reality works, how likely something was to happen, and eventually this helped him make an intuitive decision when it was very important. So he saved the world from nuclear war because he recognized that it was a false alarm. Albert Einstein. Okay. Albert Einstein went against common presumptions in physics due to intuition. In physics, in his own words, he said, "I believe in intuitions and inspirations. I sometimes feel that I'm right. I do not know that I am." When two expeditions of scientists financed by the Royal Academy went forth to test my theory of relativity, I was convinced that their conclusions would tally with my hypothesis. He was not surprised when the eclipse of May the 29th, 1919, confirmed his intuitions. He would have been surprised if it was wrong. Yeah, I've heard that about scientists a lot. You know, they intuitively think something and then they experiment on the matter and try to prove it, or they make a theory around it. Winston Churchill, no less. Okay. There was a bomb near Churchill when he was dining at 10th Street in London. Before a second could land at his exact location, he told everyone to evacuate. His intuition saved everyone. Well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of what you would do, though. That's not that remarkable, is it? I mean, you'd tell everyone to evacuate, wouldn't you? Or you might even say, well, statistically, if the bombs are coming in this area, one's already hit this exact location, if it was from an aeroplane, for example. It's highly unlikely that they're going to hit it exactly in the same place again. But then again, he was in 10 Downing Street, so they're all aiming for the one place, no doubt. Anyway, Paul McCartney, he had a dream that he would become one of the most popular Beatles, or he would create one of the most popular Beatles songs yesterday. However, initially he feared it was too different from what they already played. Good thing he listened to his intuition. He called it the most magic thing. So he liked his intuition. Examples of intuition. Okay. Oh, that's the end of that, and I'm kind of glad. Do you want to read something about intuition, last minute, Lacey? Instinct, gut feelings. Do you want to? Have you got anything material that we can perhaps digest here before we open up the conversation a bit? You're muted, by the way. Okay.
No, not at this time. Sorry.
That's okay. So, what do you think then of intuition, instincts, gut feelings in your life? Is it something you harness? Is it something that you think about? Something you try to utilize? Are you there?
Me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just in the chat.
Okay, sorry.
Well, I mean, intuition's been one of the things that's helped me survive through most of my life. You know, it hasn't always been good, and for the majority of the slides so far, it's been true and correct. I mean, depending what type of life you've lived and traumas you've endured, it can kind of cloud it a little bit based on needs and wants and the things that you've lacked in your life. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. I mean, I was just wondering, is it something you kind of follow? Do you follow your intuition a lot? Is it something that guides you?
Well, I try to, yeah. I think that, you know, learning to trust it is a process. And then once you do, and you learn, you know, how to listen properly, because like I said, about your needs and wants and wishes and what you'd like things to be and things like that will get in the way. But yeah, absolutely. That is something that I have used ever since I was young.
Yeah, I would say I kind of am the same. And when I've been unhappiest in life, it's when I have intuitively felt like something is wrong culturally or in my general surrounds, but I feel like I'm trapped in it, like in a workplace, in a group of, say, friends I used to have or whatever, um, in a kind of political group or something that I was involved with, whatever it was. I if I had an intuitive feeling that this isn't right, or if I saw something, I felt like sometimes I saw things that people didn't see, as in like maybe I think sometimes I thought about things too much, like I analyzed personalities of leadership. I also thought about um, things outside of the group as well. That definitely affected my analysis of the group. But looking back on it all, although I was uncomfortable in certain situations because my intuition was telling me that this isn't good for me or it's wrong or this isn't something I believe in. Like for example, some of the religious groups I've been a member of as well, or at least tried to, given some time to. Um, I think that it is all just part of the journey of life. It's what happens to everybody. We're just like fluid bodies, and we find our place. Sometimes, okay, and it's just that the terrain that we're flowing over metaphorically is so problematic sometimes, and so and causes such pain. But hopefully, at some point, we find our resting place where we can chill out and we can kind of think about life and what is right for us. Now, I would say there's a lot of privilege involved in being able to follow your intuition, okay? And I would say you can glibly say you should do it, but it's very hard to do it if you're economically disadvantaged. I think that, if you've got a lot of money in the bank, it's very easy to follow your intuition, what you want to do, what is right for you, and also what you feel is right in society. And I suppose in many ways, parents are kind of hoping for that in their children. They're hoping that their children will be able to follow that spark inside them more than they could. Maybe that is part of the hope in humanity that, future generation will be able to actually have that kind of, that ability to follow their own way, walk their own path and follow their intuition. Because, there's many great people in this world trapped in positions where they can't rise their head above the parapet. They might be in. Think about it. What's the population of North Korea? That's a huge population, and there must be. I'm not taking being a. I'm being guilty of favoritism. I don't think any one human is greater than anybody because nobody chose who they are. But what I mean to say is, in terms of intellect and ability to cause positive change in the world, there must be innumerable amounts of people in North Korea, but they're not able to do it because they're stuck in a bubble, in a regime, controlled culture that doesn't allow them to follow their intuition. In fact, that's probably too simplistic. Their intuition is probably so shaped from a young age that their intuition is literally telling them probably to follow everything that the authority is telling them to do, because from a young age, because you think about this, if at a young age you are told to do something, yeah, you will do it if others are doing it, and you will do it if you see there's punishment if you don't do it, okay, and you will only not do it if you see there's a possibility that that you can't do, you don't have to do it, and if that works out well for the people who don't do it. So what I mean to say is, in North Korea, for example, if there's people following their intuition, they will continue to do that as it's their way of surviving, and maybe they won't feel it's bad or wrong. But when if they happen to see somebody else doing differently and having a positive outcome, so say someone says, "No, I'm not following orders today, Commander," and got away with it and seemed to have a good rest of the day and enjoyed their day, did something of their own accord and enjoyed life, well, then others will be likely to follow. So yeah, I think intuition is greatly shaped by development is what I'm trying to say, Lacey, here. And it's not as simple as to say that intuition is even good for you sometimes, because sometimes I think it's such that your mind is shaped, your intuition is shaped to the degree that it might be bad for you. Sometimes you are following an intuition that has been driven into you by your recognition of patterns. So, for example, if you grew up in an extremely Muslim country where they practice Sharia law as a girl, and you saw there was a certain way to behave in society, and if you didn't behave that way, well, X, Y, and Z was going to happen to you, and that was very negative. Well, I think your intuition might become more and more shaped to the degree that you become more in line with being conservative and being traditional, to the values of that society, and less likely to, follow to do anything else because it wouldn't be in your favor. And basically, we as outsiders will be saying, "Oh, that's bad. They're following an intuition." And they're not following their intuition, but they probably are, is what I'm saying. It's just that, unfortunately, their intuition has been shaped to make them be oppressed. Anyway, Pamela's here and Bastian as well.
Hello.
What the hell is that about, Brother Marcus? I don't know where that came out. But anyway, no, I don't think... Oh, he was joking. He was talking about how I don't think people are better. Yeah, I know. I definitely don't think I'm better than Brother Marcus, that's for sure. I don't think I'm better than anyone. It's just, it is what it is. This reality. We're all on our own path.
Excuse my brother. He's absolutely sleeping his head off, snoring in the background. It's not me. Now he's coughing.
Okay,
snoring in the background.
Well, Pamela, what would you like to say about it? Pamela, what would you like to say about intuition and instinct?
Intuition. I'd like to say,
Pamela,
I'm fed up with it. Even if I was like the biggest genius on earth, I'm pretty sure I'd be fed up with it. I'd be like, what the hell is this?
Oh, sorry to hear that. So, Bastian, welcome to the show.
Why are you sorry to hear that?
Well, I'm sorry to feel that you feel that way. That you feel.
Do you want to be a genius? Would you like to be a genius here? Do you think that's going to work out well?
I said I'm sorry to hear that you're fed up with everything. That's what I said. That's what you said, isn't it?
Why are you sorry though? I'm more sorry at the time that I didn't realize about being fed up with this. You don't need to tell me sorry. Tell someone else that doesn't know.
There you go. You heard it. Pamela has very strong opinions tonight. Bastian Bash.
Hello.
Welcome, brother.
Hello.
Hello. How are you? I can hear you. Yes.
I'm good. How are yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Not too bad. So what is going on in terms of your mind and how it's reacting to this stream? Instinct, intuition, gut feeling, are these things you think are important? Are these things that you follow? Are these things that could lead us astray? Are these good or bad, etc.? Let me know.
Well, I would argue I take a centrist approach to it, or like a moderate approach to intuition and your gut feeling. There are some things that you just have to take a leap into. There are just some things you can but there's other things where I do argue that you might have to think about it just a bit more. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
I
think we're just fumbling along until we're really forced by existence to think about it. You know what I mean? So we're going along on autopilot, and our intuition is telling us to do something until existence confronts us and shows us, hey, your intuition isn't going to work this time. And then it's like, ooh, what'll I do? What'll I do? What'll I do? And then you pick something else to do because you intuitively think that's the correct thing to do. And then maybe that works out or it doesn't work out. But I think intuition is always going on. It's just like you're picking the next alternative. You have in our minds, we have this list of alternative actions, that we could take: plan B, plan C, plan D, E, etc. We may not know they're there, but they will come to the fore when we're presented with a situation, Well, I'm not saying they're literally there. I'm just saying this is what your brain is doing. Your brain is picking next alternatives so that it can match them to your intuition as best as possible.
Yeah.
It's trying to always match your personal values that you have inside that mind of yours.
Yeah, I
Or to
guess I can.
appease your emotions.
Mm, yeah, I guess I can agree to something like that. Like
Yeah.
there are some days where I can trust my emotions, my intuitions. I can trust those when it comes to like
I'm
things.
an emotivist, by the way. I think that everything is emotions. Yeah, I do believe that we do things out of emotion. Yeah. So
Can
go
I
ahead,
say something?
Bastian.
Mm, yeah,
Yes.
Can
yeah,
I say something?
yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Tomorrow just feels more boring than yesterday. If there was something that was sort of like valid, bit better than yesterday. If it's not,
Oh,
what's the point of tomorrow? It's like, well, we just got to do it. Especially for people like myself. Since you've had children, you're just going to have to do it. I still don't get it. It's like, oh, how does it make it better? Well, you just got to encourage the grandkids. Why not? Ugh.
Brother Marcus is also provisionally an emotivist. Oh, that's interesting.
Hmm. Interesting.
Chickpea, P the Torty, it's so good to see you. We've all been wondering where you've been, but hopefully you can come on, Marcus. We get the conversation going. Uh, that would be good. Chickpea is in the house tonight, and it's been a while. It's been a while. I've got one more presentation to do. Instinct in spirituality. I don't know what it's going to be like, but I'm just uploading it now, so I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that to be able to be presentable. But in the meantime, Bastian, what
Yes,
have you
sir.
got to say then?
Well, I have to. Well, I would say that like there are moments that you can trust your senses, and then there's other moments where you cannot absolutely trust your senses. Like I think that humans generally don't have a good outline of life. They don't have an accurate
If you
image.
don't procreate, you're better off trusting your senses. At least you ain't done that. I'm telling you.
All right.
Chickpea is trying to get on. Come, try again, Chickpea. Guys, if you're able to, please like and share the stream, or at least like it. It helps the algorithm, and more people are likely to see it,
Mm.
and we're likely to get newcomers joining the conversation, which is always good.
What do they want you to say? Oh, I came into the world, I went through it, and I was the best parent. No, give them the truth. Say it. Damn.
It's very hard to be a parent, Pamela. But yes, hello, Chickpea.
How would you know? I'm not being funny, right? But you do know. It's like you have a
That's true,
foresight.
Brother Marcus.
But I'm going with 3 kids later. Like, bleh.
Yeah, that's true, brother Mike.
It's pathetic.
I have a Chickpea here. Chickpea.
Hi. Hello.
Hello, and how are you?
Depressed.
I
I've been
didn't
feeling.
mean it like that. Did you mean like, no, I didn't mean it like that. Like, I'm really intelligent because I've had 3 kids. No. If anything, it dumbed me down. Each child I had, more dumb. That's why he had another one. Dirkard.
Who are you talking to?
In fact, we should have already brought emotivism into
I'm talking
tonight's stream. That would have been.
the podcast here.
So now, Pamela, I'm very sorry, darling, but we are trying to keep streams on topic, and we are talking about instinct tonight. So I'll have to mute you for a little bit, darling. But we've got Chickpea that's just joined. Chickpea, what's going on with you? You did say you're feeling a bit depressed, were you?
Yeah, I've been feeling very depressed. I've been doing a lot of research into Gnosticism and past lives and next lives and everything. You know, I've told I get depressed about the whole thing. And yeah, I'm just very depressed about it. You know, I think myself, right, do 70 years on this shit tip, and then you go to the checkpoint for another 70 and some other shit tip somewhere. Or I hate it here. Hate the place.
Well, the truth is you don't know what's going on here, so don't put too much weight on these mysteries, because the truth is you have no idea. None of us do. And what's the point in putting what's the point in being weighed down by a negative belief when you can't prove it either way? I would say, Chickpea, fundamentally, the most important thing for all of us to do is to concentrate on our well-being here and now as individuals. And that's why I think intuition is a good thing. Trying to work out what is good for all of us as individuals. Every one of us is different here.
No, I'm one of those animal. I'm one of those animal rights people. I'll never be happy here. That will never happen. That will never happen.
But at least if it's not about happiness for you, if that's not the value
I'll never be happy.
If that's not the value that you believe is important, well, maybe you should think about how can you improve the welfare of animals, and that's what you should be concentrating on. What I'm saying is you should be concentrating on that rather than bloody unprovable beliefs. Although they're fun to talk about, and I like talking about them. I'm just saying you've got to be careful how much weight you give to them, because the truth is we don't know what is going on, and don't pretend that you do. And I'm being your friend. I'm trying to be.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just going by what I'm reading and what I'm hearing on YouTube. You know that. I don't know. That's why I come here. I hope I might learn something. No, I don't have a good word to say about this dimension and this world. I told you I'm not a believer in the God of this world or anything of this world. You know that about me.
Right. So, Chickpea, we're talking about instinct, intuition, going, the power of it, or whether it's good or bad or whatever it is you feel about it. Is it something that you followed in your life, gut feeling? Is it something that's got you into good situations or bad situations?
I always follow my intuition. I always do what my heart tells me, always. If my brain, I always do what my heart tells me, be it wrong or be it right, like walking out of jobs, walking out on men. And I do what my heart tells me, always have done. And I've made loads of mistakes, as far as I know, but I did the right thing because I didn't come to any harm.
Oh, glad to hear that. Okay. I've got another presentation here, if we want. Have a look at this one. Intuition in spirituality and theology, exploring global perspectives on when to or resist instinct, by the way. It's not instinct, but understanding instinct. Okay. Definition of instinct. Can you hear me, guys? Yeah. Instinct is an innate, typically fixed pattern of behavior in animals and humans, often triggered by specific stimuli. Okay, there's someone else. Sorry, someone else has just joined. 1 second. Let me just make that smaller so I can add them, not leave them out in the cold. Oh, it's Pamela. There you go. Okay.
Don't worry. I'm turning it out.
All right. Yeah. Instinct is an innate, typically fixed pattern of behavior in animals and humans, often triggered by specific stimuli. It encompasses both survival mechanisms like fight or flight responses and deeper spiritual inclinations that guide moral and ethical decisions. Okay.
Can I just say something?
Well, you can. You did. Go ahead.
Yes. What is Pamela saying? Chickpea is not honest. Too much contradiction, to be honest. It's 2 O's, by the way, Pamela. What have I said to be dishonest? Precisely.
Yeah,
Pamela doesn't
sound
very honest. To be fair.
Oh, Pamela, darling.
Your voice sounds like a spoiled brat.
Really?
I don't mean to be rude.
I sound very
you
English.
sound like a spoiled brat. You do.
Stop, you silly American bitch.
I muted you there, Pamela. Not because. Can I just say, Chickpea, that is completely out of character for Pamela.
I know it is, but she started it. I'm just.
I know. Do you mind if I give her an opportunity to apologise? Because honestly, Pamela, please apologise, darling, because otherwise I can't let you on the stream, mate. Because Chickpea is a lovely lady. She's 70 years of age.
I apologise. I profusely apologise, Chickpeas. But I meant it.
I'm gonna kick her out. I'm gonna kick Pamela out for the week now. Sorry. Only for the week, Pamela. She's got to know. I picked her up. I've picked her up. For the way, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No. I mean, I love. The thing is, Chippy, that was a very difficult situation because, you know me. I love my ladies. I love you. I love all of them, and I love Pamela as well. But what she just did there was very mean, and there was no need for it. Okay.
Too much contradiction.
Yeah,
I
was me.
what I've said to contradict myself just because I'm into animal rights. That doesn't make me. That doesn't make
Right.
anything.
No, I don't think that's what she. I don't think that's what the problem was. But I don't know what the problem was.
Well, probably because I'm
The background noise. I believe it's coming from Tanel. He's a new guy. I'm muting his mate. Yeah, it's Tanel. So Tanel, sort out your background noise, mate, if you can, or at least I'm gonna let you. Tanel, mute yourself. Mute yourself, Tanel. Please do it yourself, and only unmute when you want to talk. Can you mute yourself, Tanel? Yeah, he's done it. And welcome to Tanel, by the way. We'll go on with these slides. The role of instinct in behavior. Instinct influences human behavior significantly, often acting as a subconscious guide in decision-making processes, from survival instincts like hunger to moral instincts, okay? It plays a vital role in emotional responses and interpersonal relationships within various spiritual frameworks, okay? Someone else has just joined. I heard the noise in the background. It's Pamela again. Oh, God damn it. Will I let her on? You know.
I believe in freedom of speech, so don't worry about me.
I don't know, man. All right. Pamela, you're on. Just please behave yourself, darling. Behave yourself, please. Bit of decorum. All right.
Oh, dear.
Okay, where was I? It plays a vital role in emotional responses and interpersonal relationships within various spiritual frameworks. This is instinct, okay? Comparison with intuition, okay? While instinct is an automatic response rooted in biological triggers, intuition is a more nuanced understanding derived from experience and knowledge, okay? Both can guide decisions, yet instinct often emerges impulsively, while intuition reflects deeper cognitive processing, okay? Exploring global perspectives on when to follow or resist instincts. So we've got spiritual perspectives on instinct. Eastern spirituality, Buddhism and instincts. In Buddhism, instincts are often seen as responses stemming from ignorance and attachment, okay? So we need to have a mindful awareness, which allows practitioners to differentiate between instinctual reactions and thoughtful responses, promoting inner peace and enlightenment. That seems to be a good system of thought to follow. Yep. Western spirituality, Christianity and instinct. Christianity views instincts through the framework of moral ethics, urging believers to seek divine guidance. Instincts may be viewed as temptations to be managed rather than followed, promoting the exercise of that pesky notion, free will. Okay. Indigenous beliefs and instinct. Okay. Indigenous spirituality often respects and honors instincts as integral to the understanding of the world. Many cultures consider instinct as a divine gift, allowing individuals to live harmoniously with nature and navigate life's challenges. Okay. And instinct and in spirituality and theology. Okay, we'll continue. Is there anything else? Oh, implications of following instinct. Following instinct carries profound theological implications, as it may guide individuals towards divine will or lead them astray. Understanding when instinct aligns with spiritual teachings is essential for moral clarity. Okay, that's what they're saying. Instinct in sacred texts often reference instinctive behavior. In Christianity, for example, the parable of the Good Samaritan illustrates following one's moral instincts, act compassionately, highlighting the positive role of instinct in spiritual life. Yeah, but what if you're a psychopath who doesn't care? Okay. Ethical considerations. The interplay between instinct and ethics raises critical questions in theology. Deciding when to follow or resist instinct involves navigating moral dilemmas and aligning with spiritual values to ensure ethical conduct. I mean, I think the Buddhists have it right, but, you know, because the thing is, the Bible, the Quran, the Talmud or whatever, there's a lot of stuff in them that is unsavory in the modern day, and intuitively it would say I can't do that now, or I shouldn't do that. So why would you follow the word in other areas of your life? And I've never got a good answer on that. People say it's time and place, yeah, but you know, if it's the word of God, it should transcend time and place, you know. Anyway, affirmations from spiritual leaders. Many spiritual leaders advocate for following instinct as an essential aspect of authentic living. Figures like the Dalai Lama emphasize listening to one's inner voice, suggesting that instincts often reveal deeper truths about one's path in life. Okay. Contextual decision making. Instinct plays a pivotal role in context-driven decisions, particularly in situations of uncertainty. By trusting instincts, individuals can make choices that resonate with their core values and ethical beliefs, allowing for a more engaged and purposeful existence. And I think this is the key about instincts for me, is that one should follow your intuition, okay, except when one is not sure what to do next. So the intuition isn't giving you the answer. So the thought processes. Intuition is obviously a deeper level of thought when we're trying to think about what to do, okay? And when you get to that position, I would say, yeah, follow your instinct, you know? But you know, hopefully that instinct has been shaped by years of good intuition, but hopefully. Modern applications in daily life. In contemporary life, instincts are applied in various domains, from career choices to personal relationships. Practices such as mindfulness encourage individuals to identify and trust their instincts, fostering emotional intelligence and better decision-making skills in everyday situations. Okay. When to resist instinct. Okay. Transformational teachings. Various spiritual teachings emphasize self-control over instinct. For example, Buddhist practices advocate mindfulness, teaching practitioners to observe instincts without immediately acting upon them, facilitating deeper wisdom and understanding. Yeah, and I think that's good advice for everybody. Except if you're in a moment where your life is endangered, and then you know, well, you have to react instinctively there. Obviously, depending on how prominent the endangerment is. One moment, I will go to the next slide. Okay, the consequences of blind following. Blindly following instinct can lead to detrimental outcomes. Historical examples show that impulsive decisions based on instinct can result in conflicts, as seen in certain religious wars, where emotions overrode reasoned judgment. Okay. Cases from history and scripture. Instances like the biblical story of King Saul illustrate the dangers of disregarding divine guidance for instinct. Saul's impulsive acts, rooted in fear and ambition, led to his rejection as king, showcasing the peril of acting solely on instinct rather than wisdom. Okay, so going your own way too much is not to be encouraged, you know, in religions, in the various religions around the world. I think that's a practical thing as well. You shouldn't go your way too much. You should try and anchor yourself as much as possible to you know, what is what your life has told you, and what is the kind of consensus around you. You should definitely take that into consideration. Obviously, sometimes you do have to go against consensus, but you shouldn't do it so lightly, I wouldn't say, you know, if it's going to cause you trouble. You have to weigh it up, and only you can do that. Okay, that's that done. Okay, we'll open up the conversation again. I don't know if anything out of that was beneficial. Bit of noise when I talk. Sorry about that, Brojo. Brojo, do you want to come on here? Brother Marcus, come on here. I don't know where lovely Lacey went, but she left the building. Hopefully she'll come back. Lacey, if you're listening, we would love to have you back. So yeah, Tanel, brother, I'm sorry you haven't had a chance to speak yet. Would you like to talk about instinct, intuition, gut feeling, these types of things? What are they? Oh God. She's gone. I'm sorry, I had to kick her banner from the studio this week. Because so go ahead, Tanel.
Oh, your bag's gone, has she?
I had to ban her for this week because she talks out of turn and she's talking about other topics. So Tindall, you're muted, my brother. If you are still there, you're muted, so we can't hear you. But if you care to unmute yourself, you can talk. If not, we'll wait. Chickpea, have you got anything else to say about intuition, gut feelings, etc.? When was anything in this area of thought that we're discussing tonight?
No, I like I said, I just follow my heart. I just do what I want to do most of the time. And I do. I'm a bit like that, which is probably why my life is an utter mess. But if I don't want to do something, I won't do it. If I get to my head, I'm not doing something, then I will not do it no matter what it costs me. And it has cost me things. You know, I've walked out of jobs because I refused to do things. I used to be in the Navy. I walked out one day because I wasn't quite happy with things. Yeah, if I don't want to do it, it's not so much that I do what my instincts tell me. If my instinct says don't do it, then I will not do it no matter what the cost. It's more what I won't do.
Yeah.
As to what I will, that makes any sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I won't.
Matt has commented, what about when your intuition has been overridden by tyrants outside of you that directly contradict it? And your intuition has been shaped over a long time by outside forces. It's hard to untangle taught thoughts versus intuition. Yeah, I mean, I was talking about that earlier. For example, if a woman grew up in a place of Sharia law, really strict Sharia law, it's very hard for her to have any intuition that would go against what she has been taught culturally in that environment. Because as youngsters, your intuition has been shaped all the time, and it's generally shaped for your survival, for your well-being, what is good for you. And if you're on the cusp of having a different feeling, like you want to do something that's not culturally acceptable, well, then your intuition would be always telling you that, oh, you can't do that because there's severe consequences in society. Could even be physical violence or even death. So ostracization. And as a woman, in these societies, it's a very dangerous world. It's very dangerous to be ostracized because you don't have much power, financial, political, or anything like that. So it's I've mentioned that, man. I do agree. I think it's very hard to untangle thoughts versus intuition. I think they are part and parcel, and sometimes people's intuition is even going against them. So I don't think it's as simple as always to say follow your intuition, which is why I think as human beings we do have to kind of be mindful of that people are just doing what they've been taught to do or what they've been conditioned to do, and not to hold it against them too much, but to try and enlighten them somehow. Now, I don't know how to do that, but it is very hard. It's very hard to enlighten others. I suppose all you can do is be a good example, and also I would say time is a thing as well. If you give people the message again and again repetitively, whilst also demonstrating that your way of life isn't bad or evil, well, then eventually, hopefully, it might get through to them. But I would say that it may not get through to them. It might be the next generation that learns. Never give up. Never give up fighting for. I say fighting. I don't mean that word literally, but never give up trying to shine your light in the world if you feel that it's good to do so. If you feel it's positive, Pamela, darling, I'm sorry for kicking you out of the studio, my dear. There's too much fighting this week, and it was going off topic, my dear. We do love you, but obviously you're welcome back anytime. But yeah, we're trying to do things differently now. Trying to have a little bit of structure. Anybody got anything to add there, Bastian? Anything to add, brother?
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me? Okay, so
Yes.
just like I think at the end of it all, I think that you should trust your intuition. You should trust your. At the end of it all, like I was having doubts about that. I've always had doubts about trusting your gut feeling here and there, because I have a lot of crippling doubt about everything. So like I'm not sure if if I can trust my true gut instinct, because what if that's wrong? I'm always scared of doing anything wrong, either by intuition or by rationality. you know
Yeah.
so I'm always in a state of crippling doubt. But I think after all is said and done, I think it's good to always trust your gut feeling. It's always good to trust that what you feel is right for you, what you feel is good for you. I think that's good.
Yeah, and introspection, philosophizing, thinking about it, it definitely does help,
Yeah, it does.
thinking about matters, and talking to friends, talking to people about it as well. One should always be trying to develop a best way forward.
Because as you said, with those slides regarding the world's religions, how they always kind of have a somewhat of like a dismissive thought towards intuition. Not They don't reject it; it's still part of us. But I think what they argue is that don't be too reliant on it. I think they're saying that, right? Don't be too reliant on stuff like that. When
Well, although the Buddhists would say listen to it and cultivate it,
yeah,
Um, I mean, I would say, you know, they have different words for it. Like, so in Christianity, they might say it's the Holy Spirit telling you to do good. Basically, that's your intuition, and
yeah,
and going against it is the devil. The devil is trying to stop you from being the best version of yourself. It's like synonyms, different versions of beliefs have different words for the same thing. But yeah, it's all just either following the way. It's about following the way, but also recognizing the way has others in it. Okay, that is the other thing to remember here. Although we're trying to forge a path for our own existence, we do have to be mindful that we don't exist in isolation. This isn't a solipsistic universe. There are
yeah.
other people in it,
They are.
and
Sure.
you do have to take that into consideration, or it will. But that's part of the intuitive process. That's part of other people working out how can we exist in the world of others. Still
Yeah,
try and get some content.
yeah.
Or live the best life. Divine Hazel's here. Wonderful, wonderful. We're very happy about the ladies in the house tonight, and Chickpea, and now Divine Hazel.
Oh,
So
that's good.
Divine, we do hope that you come on here and
Yeah,
join the
but
party. I'd love to hear Divine Hazel's views on instinct, gut feeling, and intuition, and following your own heart and mind. It'd be interesting to.
Hi there, Hazel. Sorry. Hello,
And
Hazel. Sorry.
she's replying in the chat. Hey there, Chickpea, says Divine Hazel.
Yeah,
But I do think that there's a kind of a strange thing occurs in society, and it's like if you look at bodies, organizations, they are kind of like weird funnels of intuition. Okay, so at the bottom, like if you look at let's take Donald Trump for example. He's at the top of American society at the moment, but underneath him, okay, he's got all these advisors. Yeah. Now, obviously, he got in there because he swayed people's emotions. Okay, he was able to work on people's possibly instincts. I would say, he was able
yeah,
to. It was an
yeah.
instinctual thing. Right?
Ears and
Yeah, he meddled. He meddled
aspirations.
with people's base level instincts. And when I say base level, I mean that in both senses of the word. Not only are they at the bottom of things, but base as in like the Shakespearean sense of the word, like bad. Basically, he got into like the animalistic way of thinking about life. Being ultra competitive, and it's them, us, and them kind of thing. And there's it been almost like inhumane, I would say, about others. Anyway, he got in. He shaped. He probably won that election based on being able to create emotively charged instinctual responses. From people that didn't involve deep levels of introspection and intuition. Now, but in general, society, it seems that at the top of the structures, at the top of the pyramids, we do have people like Donald Trump. We do have people that don't seem often to be as, let's just say, intuitively connected to others, if you know what I mean. they do seem to be rather rash bastards sometimes, you know, and they seem to be reacting instinctively. Oh, this is going to work. This is bad. This is good. You know, this type of thing. And they do say that a lot of CEOs, a lot of people, leaders have dark triad traits, or there's 4 traits now, isn't there? And I'm just thinking, like, is there a possible reason for this? Is it that when you get to that level, humans are led by instinct, yeah? And what drives them, though, but underneath that instinctual level of management are the intuitors. So, you know, there are people in the back rooms who are, you know, to make sense of Donald Trump's instincts and trying to shore them up, you know, because they've had an emotive response. They support them, perhaps, right? But they're also doing the introspection in the back rooms, okay? And they're trying to shore up this this instinctual cult, as it were, this cult led by instinct. And that's kind of what's happening in politics. But the same thing is happening in corporations as well. It's like, you know, you have the autists, like doing the programming, the engineering, the altruists doing the kind of customer care. The people really thinking about matters are lower down in the structure, right? And as you go up higher up into the management, even to the CEO level, I think it does become more instinct based. Like, this will work or this won't work. And it's just like, yeah, sometimes it does work, sometimes it doesn't work, but it's very instinctual. Am I being too simplistic?
No, I think you're making a whole lot of sense, to be honest. Like, you know, everything, because we're still animals at the end of the day, you know, we're like part intelligent animal, part dumb animal, you know. So, like, I think it makes sense that we're not the most rational beings. We're not really, you know, we need some correction, you know, in our lives, I think. Whether that may be, what that means, you know.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that's bamboozling for a lot of humans, is because you do get these people who act on instinct, like purely gut instinct, you know, they're very rash. And I think when there's someone who's more intuitive or more introspective and more of a thoughtful person, you know, to be around these people is disconcerting or discombobulating. You can't actually quite, it kind of throws you, and because you're introspective, you're thinking deeply, and maybe your responses take time, okay? So to confront and to talk to these people is a challenging situation, because you actually think about what you're saying, whereas these people do it instinctively and glibly, you know, and they're saying things very quickly based on a gut reaction, right? And therefore what happens is these people, because of this nature that they have, they can trample on others because they kind of control the conversations. They control the narrative, and they've said X, Y, and Z before people have even had a chance to respond, right? And in the public eye, if you watch the kind of interactions, the people who speak instinctively, they seem to know what they're talking about because they're so confident, right? And the people who are reacting with intuition, sometimes they seem less confident because they're actually thinking about things, all right? And what happens is, and also maybe taking a bit of time, and maybe they're even stuttering sometimes because they're not quite sure how to vocalize what it is that they're actually saying, because they actually care about it. It's like they actually care about what they're saying. They're thinking about the consequences beyond themselves, whereas the instinctual person is just thinking purely about themselves. So what happens is, to the public eye, this can look like the instinctual person is the competent person, okay? Whereas in actual fact, it's the intuitive person, okay, who is the competent person. They're the ones that are actually thinking more deeply about the matter and have a greater understanding. The instinctual person is literally flying by this, flying by the seat of his underpants. You know, he's got nothing to offer, only his instinct. You know, and anyway, I've ranted enough there. What do you think of that, anybody?
Well, I think that's. Oh, sorry, you're gonna speak, Chickpea.
No, I was just thinking about Charlie Boy. I told you, Grumpy Guts, when I met Prince Charles, and I have never in my life met such an ill-mannered oaf as Prince Charles.
No.
So when I was 20 years old, I bumped into him aboard his ship, and he was a lieutenant. I was a wren, and normally in that situation, the lieutenant would have said, "Do you want to come down for coffee while you're here?" Whereas he said to his sidekick, "What is this wren doing on board my ship?" And people think he's nice. This is Prince Charles.
Well, he's welcome to come on the show. He's a king now. He's welcome to come on the show if he wants and give his own. He can give his own, recollection of what happened there if he wants to come on.
I shouldn't think he can remember that. I don't think he could remember so many years ago. It was 1997.
Right. Yeah. It's highly unlikely that he'd remember it.
He's horrible. Oh, come on. You know he's far. Look at the way he did that thing with that guy. It was on the TV. He sort of signaled at that guy to come and move something off his desk. Instead of just doing it himself. You don't like Charlie Boy. You don't like Charlie.
No, I don't. Listen, I don't like or dislike anybody. I try to see what they like. Yes, I have to admit I don't like certain people, but I do feel sorry for Charlie Boy. He's been brought up in that. Like we were talking about Intuit. I do. I don't think I do feel like he is trapped in this. Like he was brought up in that system, and he can't be anything but what he is. He's not a free man. He's not a free man. I mean, he's got a lot of privilege, but he's not a free man.
No, I disagree because on board that ship, he was a lieutenant, dressed as a lieutenant. He should have behaved like a lieutenant. He wasn't wearing a crown. If he'd been there walking around with a crown on, I would have curtsied. But no, he was dressed as a lieutenant. And I was dressed as a wren, so wrens do not salute lieutenants. But I've never had a man behave in such a nasty way in my whole life as him. And I've lived in the East End for the past 30 years. Never come across a guy behave so ill-mannered. Really hostile man.
There you go. Okay, we have Divine Hazel here. Divine Hazel, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
I'm glad to hear it. Have you been listening at all? Have you got any thoughts on instincts, intuition, following your gut? Is this something you think about? Is it something you practice? Is it something you're mindful of? Is it something you try to avoid? Do you try to be more of a deep thinker, or do you go with your gut? And she's a very deep thinker because she hasn't replied yet. Are you there, Divine?
Intuition.
Yeah. Well, just generally.
I listen to my instinct consistently, using my God phone on a consistent basis. There's no decisions I make without using my intuition, because when I do that, I notice I have a better connection. I've been listening to the whole chat. I was just writing a letter for a client of mine, so I was typing at the same time. So,
well, that's fine.
Yeah. There is nothing that I would not ask or have answered without using my intuition.
Mm-hmm.
I can resonate with that.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Chickpea.
Hello, how are you?
Very well. I missed you, darling.
I know. You know the horses you had, your 6 horses?
Yes.
Yes. So do you still see them?
No.
God, they're heartbreaking.
They're at a place probably about 20 minutes from here.
Oh, God.
And they belong to someone else.
Oh, God. I often think about you and your horse because I think you were so lucky to have had horses.
They're the most wonderful creatures this side of the United States. I mean, they're very, very, very loyal, and you can tell them secrets and they won't tell anyone.
Yes, I know. I know. And what, did you have any geese or ducks or hens or anything?
No, 6 horses, 6 dogs, and 1 cat.
Yeah. So you still got those? You haven't got any head. Have you got cats?
No, the cat passed away, and so didn't the dog.
Oh, God.
Yep.
Yeah, I couldn't be without mine, I must admit. But I'm one of these weirdos that kisses police horses. Whenever I say police horses, here a lot here in Hackney, I go and kiss them, kiss the horses. Kiss all manner of strange dogs and, squirrels. Sorry, but I thought about your horse. You've got land, haven't you? Divine?
What's that?
You own land, don't you?
Yes.
Yes, lucky you. Lucky you. So do you grow your own herbs?
Yes.
Wow. Lucky. I grow stuff. I love rosemary.
That's my favorite.
Isn't it gorgeous?
And lavender.
Yes. Marajam. Marajam? How do you pronounce it? Marajam?
Marjoram.
That's it. Yeah. And what's the other one? There's another one I grow a lot. Sage. Yeah, I love herbs. Sorry, do you want... Sorry, I think we changed the subject.
Okay, I think we could do a few questions, I suppose, just to keep the conversation on topic a little bit, so we can learn
Yes,
other
sir.
things. I suppose we'll go around. Bastian, can you
Yes.
recall a time when you ignored your gut feeling and later regretted it? I mean, you don't have to. By the way, you're under no obligation to answer these questions. Can you? What happened and what did your intuition try to tell you?
Oh, there was a lot. I'll tell you one quick story of mine. There was something that was offered to me, and I gave it up, but I didn't trust my intuition in time. About 2019, when after I graduated high school, right? My father gave me an option to leave the United States and go live back in my home country. It's somewhere in South America, and I gave it up because I didn't trust my intuition. My intuition was telling me, you know what, maybe I should leave here. Maybe this life isn't the best for me over here in the States. But I was like, nah, it's all right. I'll try to make something here, and then I'll move out of my own accord. 6 years later, I should have never given up on that offer. On that offer, because look where we are now. It's only been hectic over here in the States ever since then. In the past 6 years now. So yeah, that was one moment I gave up. I gave up on that. I should have went with my gut instinct that maybe it was a good idea to leave at that moment. Now I have to work my way out of here, as they say. Yeah.
Okay, brother.
Yeah.
And we have Chickpea here. Can you recall a time when you ignored your gut feeling and later regretted it? What happened? What did your intuition try to tell you?
Like I said, I've always done what my heart told me to do. If I just do what I want to do, and I just do what I want to do, and I always have. It's got me to trouble, but I did what I wanted to do, so I can't regret it because I did.
You've never had a time when you didn't. Okay, I'm not sure if Tanel is with us. He could be. He might be busy. Are you there, Tanel? I don't think he's with us at the moment. Divine, can you recall a time you ignored your gut feeling and later regretted it? What happened and what did your intuition try to tell you?
Well, it was about 1,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well, before I had the understanding I have now. And someone had asked me to marry them. And I said yes. But I said to God at the same time, I want 3 signs that this is not a good decision. On the day of the wedding, I got 3 signs not to do it. And I stood there because I was in front of the person who was marrying us at that point. It was just a small, intimate gathering of 4 or 5 people. It wasn't huge. I'm not a big ta-da kind of person.
Yeah.
I got the 3 signs, and I stood there, and I must have looked like I was going to die because the judge looked at me and he said, "Are you going to be okay?" And I leaned my head back and I said, "No." And then all of a sudden, the person I was marrying looked at me like he was going to kill me. And I went, "I'm okay." So that was probably the only decision I've ever made that wasn't a good one. It wasn't a good one. And I'll never do it again.
Mm.
Sorry, you'll never do what again? Sorry.
Marry.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you mind me asking why that is?
Because I never want any options taken away from me on any subject at any point, anytime. I want to be free to be who I am when I want to be who I am, and I don't have to listen to anyone else's shit.
There you go.
That's really
good
great.
answer. Okay. So another question: have you ever made a major life decision like ending a relationship or changing careers or moving to a new place based purely on instinct? Okay. So basically, you didn't really think too deeply about it. It was just like, that feeling, oh, I'm not going to do this, or I am going to do this. What drove you to trust that inner voice? So that question for you, Bastian.
What?
This
Could
is
you
this is this is Yeah. So have you ever made a major life decision like ending a relationship, changing a career, or moving to a new place based purely on instinct? So not even like less than intuition, like basically just on a feeling, without really putting much thought into it.
have I ever done something like that where it changed my life and changed my thing? Can't say I have, other than that time where I wish I followed my instinct. But there hasn't been any time where I followed my instinct and it changed my mind. It changed my life drastically. So not yet, but I know in the future there will be that ultimate showdown between me and myself and making that decision. It's like a
Yeah.
coming day of mine. I will have to make a drastic decision soon in my life, because sooner than later, I sort of miss my chance that other time. But now I know that, if that chance ever does come, I will never let it go.
Okay, brother. I'm glad you've learned something positive for yourself.
Yeah, of course.
Chickpea, I know how you're going to answer this question. Have you ever made a major life decision like ending a relationship, changing careers, or moving to a new place based purely on instinct, so purely on gut instinct, without even like
Loads of times.
introspective,
Loads of times.
without even introspective intuition, without any deep level thinking or
Yeah, loads of times.
or
Loads of
tell, tell
times.
us tell us what it feels like when you do that. What does it feel like? What is the process?
Well, I used to be in the Wrens when I was in my early 20s. I developed alopecia, so I decided to just walk out of my career. I just walked off, which caused me lots of problems. And when I had my little breakdown, I got into my head to sell my London flat and buy myself a flat in Rochester. This is at 1989. Interest rates went up. My whole life fell apart. And I've done it with men, got to my head. Something tells me, oh, just dump him. So I dump him, and then a while later I regret it. Oh, yeah, I do what I want, but then I've made a mistake, but I did what I wanted to do. So I did what I wanted to do. At the time, did I do right? Did I do wrong? I don't know. Like leaving the
No
Navy.
regrets.
No, I don't regret it because, like, when I left the Navy, I had alopecia. So, yes, I destroyed my career and I was doing very well. But if I had stayed, I've lost all my hair and never got it back. That possibility was there because it can happen with alopecia. And
Right.
when I sold my flat, maybe, as it turned out, overall, I did the right thing because now I wouldn't have the flat I've got now if I hadn't have sold that flat. So I did the wrong thing, but it all turned out okay in the end, 30 years later. But I've made loads of mistakes. Oh, tons. But they were my mistakes. Right. I made them. Nobody made me do it. I did what I wanted.
Divine Hazel, anything on just pure gut instinct in your life where you've made a major decision? Now, not like where you kind of intuitively thought about it. I'm just saying a literal gut instinct reaction on a major decision, major life decision.
So to my son's school.
Sorry, say
I
that
wasn't
again.
working at the time, and I was looking at this apartment. Friends of mine had it, and I figured I'd look at it, so I did. And I came downstairs, and then the lady from the apartment down below said, so are you looking at the apartment? I said, yeah. She goes, are you going to get it? And I'm like, probably not. She goes, why? I says, well, I'm not working right now. She goes, take it anyways. See what happens. So I said, you know what? I think I will. And I did. A week later, I got a job. And a couple weeks later after that, I got a brand new car and everything went well.
Wow.
So even though I didn't know how I was ever going to pay for the apartment, I trusted and did it anyway. And then not knowing how I was going to even get to work, I trusted, got a car. And I mean, I got a no interest rate car for the smallest amount of money, it wasn't even funny because the guy said, "How much do you think you can afford?" And I said, $110. And I said to myself, where did that come from? I can't even afford that. And it all worked out perfect. So yeah, I have done things not knowing what the result was going to be, but trusted, and everything worked out well.
Amazing story, by the way. I'm glad it worked out. Okay, so here we go, Bastian. When you meet someone for the first time, do you usually get a vibe about them instantly? And how often has your first impression turned out to be right or wrong? You know?
Oh, yeah, I get that a lot. Yeah, I unfortunately have this thing to judge people based on appearance. Like, I just can't help myself but to like do that. That's how I sneak. That's how I root out people, you know, that are good or bad for me. Yeah, I just judge people based on their appearance.
It's not on their behavior. It's like literally physical appearance.
No, it's both behavior and appearance because when I was growing
up, demeanor. For me, demeanor is very important. You know,
demeanor. So essentially, I just look at the full package. Like I can't help but to look at their face, their behavior. To me, it's all one. I can't leave one without the other because but here's the thing: what people do for me, or like what people do, like to me, is that like say, "Hey, don't judge a book by its cover." I'm like, well, you know, I can't help it. You know, their contents, you know, are only one part of it. You know, like their demeanor, how they do their things. You know, I wouldn't want to be around a person who's very, very, doesn't take care of himself, very unhygienic. If you know what I'm trying to say. Yes. Yeah, so do it. Yeah. So I do get a vibe from people instantly, but recently I've been trying to give them the benefit of a doubt. Because I have met people who I would think would look really nice, but they turn out to be really mean, and vice versa. So you know, yeah. So
I had a friend in the past. He died a few years ago. He was on this channel a few times actually. I did a few interviews with him. Now he won't mind me saying this. I'm not really speaking ill of the dead, but he didn't. He had a lot. He'd walk around with like stains on his jumper and stuff, and he's an old guy. But he had like he had some problems in life, you know. I think he was like a manic depressive or something that way. And but if you met him, you might avoid him. You know what I mean? And I get that. I would have as well in the past, but I've kind of ended up talking to some of these people I would have avoided in the past, and weirdly, it has opened up more kind of an appreciation, I suppose, of the human condition, and also the fact that goodness can be inside packages you wouldn't expect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And often he was like that for a reason. You know what I mean? He was a good soul who was battered by life. You know, and so that's why he sometimes he could barely function. You know, but his nervous system was so rattled by the cruelty he saw around him and felt. So yeah, I would be very careful about being too judgmental. But you can't help but do it. Is the other side to this as well?
Yeah, you just can't help it.
You do. One thing that is interesting is that some people are too kind of, you know, when you get someone they're really trying to please you from the get go. You know what I mean? That kind of sends me questioning things. You know.
That also throws me
off. Although I think you need to be careful. So if someone is snide or things like that, if they're really like that, then you know, then you have to be aware of that, and if they're willingly being snide or mean or whatever, that's a good thing to say. Yeah, this person is probably an arsehole, you know, for me anyway. Because you know, an arsehole to you could be good to someone else. It's nothing personal, you know.
Oh yeah,
it's just the way it goes, you know. But yeah, okay.
Oh, so yeah.
Have you ever been surprised that you got it wrong? Your first impression, you think? Yeah.
No, because I kind of welcome surprises sometimes. So in fact, you know, I don't want to meet someone that's actually mean. Even if I think they're going to be mean, it still sucks that they turn out mean. So if somebody I meet that I think is mean actually turns out to be really nice, that's like a plus, it kind of beats my negative bias a bit, even though unfortunately, like, this is like a me thing, but most people who I have met that look mean, I would think are mean, actually do turn out to be mean. It's kind of how it works out for me.
Well, I've met very stern-faced people, and they've been really nice. So I don't quite know, brother, because I mean, I've met people who are very happy, seem very happy and very jovial. But the thing is, they might look like positive, but the thing is, they're very glib, or they're very shallow-minded. They're not thinking about existence or thinking about others. They're just thinking about their own enjoyment. So I don't know, but it's not simple. It's not simple, is what I'm going to say.
Oh no, it's not. Absolutely, like, you will meet all types of the variables in people, in humans. You'll meet all types of variables, all types of contradictions, and here and such, with even one person contains an entire universe, as they say, of identities.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Chickpea. Same question, Chickpea. When you meet someone for the first time, do you usually get a vibe about them instantly? And how often has your first impression turned out to be right or wrong?
Actually, many years ago, I met this trans guy, and I really took to him. And he was trans, so in my mind, he was very, very safe. And
when you say trans, he was a woman that had converted to a man?
I met him in the bar. He was dressed as a woman.
Oh, okay.
So I thought he was really, really safe, because as a woman, a man has to be safe. That's what you go looking for. And I met this trans guy, really, really lovely guy also, I thought. And so I offered to help him feminize himself more. So I said, so we went back to his house. And then he turned on me, this trans guy. I'll never forget it, because I was really, really, trans guy.
When you say he turned on you, do you mean he got physically aggressive, or?
Yeah, he turned on me. Yeah, he was basically a trans guy that I don't know what he was up to. God only knows. I managed to get away, but yeah. Oh. So I assume because he was trans, because normally I would never ever go back to a man's house when I've just met him. I would never do that.
You think it was some kind of ploy to win your confidence and get you back to his, is it?
Yeah, I don't know what. I just assumed he was a trans guy, so I was just being nice and friendly. Do you want me to help you feminize up a bit more?
Okay, so your instinct, your gut instinct proved to be wrong at that moment.
Yes, but normally I go for looks in men, because good-looking men tend to be safer than unattractive men by definition. They tend to be a lot safer, because the world's their oyster anyway. And with women, well, it's true. A good-looking man, his world is his oyster, get any woman he wants. So they're quite safe, and they are. And with women, I just go for.
Divine is gone.
If they got a nice grin.
A grin, you like a smile, do you? What about Ted Bundy's pearly whites? Did you like them?
Whose? Talk to me.
Ted Bundy.
Who's
Ted Bundy? You know who Ted Bundy? The American serial killer. Did you not see him? We were speaking about him on Friday. Apparently, he was a handsome chap.
Yeah, I wasn't listening to him on Friday. I was busy.
Oh no! Okay. So you never heard of Ted Bundy?
I do now. Yeah, American serial killer. I think I have heard of it, but my brain is so full of rubbish. Wait till you get to my age, and your brain will be stuffed full.
It's already stuffed full of rubbish. My one. So I don't know. Unfortunately, hold on a second. My computer's playing up here. Divine is gone, isn't she? She's not here. Unfortunately, Divine, you can come back if you want. I hope she does.
But I find weird about trans. Can I just say about trans men that they do that?
Yeah.
I find it so.
They don't all do that. Hold on a second. They don't all do that.
I have heard. Sorry.
They don't all do that.
No, but I have heard of it. I have heard of it since. It happened to me years ago, early 90s, it would have been, very early 90s, when I was still a wild child. It would have happened then. And,
Okay.
but I have heard of it happening. I don't know what's going on there. Because I just thought if he is going to become a woman, I can trust him, can't I?
He might have not been trans. He might have just been someone using it as a ploy to,
Yeah, I don't
win
know.
your favor.
I don't know.
I mean, we did. You might have had a lucky escape because we did a show on Friday about serial killers, and some of the serial killers feigned some kind of vulnerability to win over the favor of women, and then they attacked them afterwards. So Ted Bundy, for example, the notorious serial killer, used to pretend to have a mobility problem, like he used to have a crutch or something, I think, or his leg. He used to pretend that his leg was mangled, or some kind of.
That would get me. If a man's vulnerable, he's got me.
Scott Sutton says, "By your works you shall know them, not by their smile." Something to ponder. Yeah, I think it's true, but the thing is, I think there is this thing like gender blindness as well. I think if someone is sexually attracted to someone, it's harder for them to see beyond that. Sometimes, unfortunately, same with men looking at women, like straight men looking at women. I mean, it's sometimes we don't really take in the contents of their character. A lot of the time, it's unfortunate, but I think it's a fact. Until it's too late, until the judges in the family law courts is like deciding on who's getting what. Anyway, we'll go on to the next question. By the way, Tanel, please feel free to join in. Scott says, gender blindness. True, yeah. So some people, Bastian, this is for you. Some people describe intuition as a physical feeling, like a pit in your stomach, chills, or a sense of calm. How has your body reacted when it's trying to communicate something important to you? What has been the kind of sorry?
How has my body reacted?
Yeah, how's your body communicated to you non-verbally something very important? Like, as I said, some people get a pit in their stomach, or chills, a sense of calm. What have been the kind of bodily messages that you've received?
I don't know why this happens to me, but whenever I get like a feeling about something like that, I get like a heavy-heartedness, or like heavy heartbeat, or something like that. And
That
that's
sounds
about it.
scary.
Yeah, it's almost like I'm bracing for anything because I'm gonna go with my intuition now. So I have to brace for anything at this point. That's what I'm telling me. It's like a fight or flight response. That's how it is.
Right. What about you, Chickpea? Do you have any physical manifestations,
I have a
your
sense
body?
of calm. I have a sense of calm, but my sense of calm, I become really, really calm, but I will turn around and bite you, and I bite really hard.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, I bite people's faces.
You're
I do. And
like Hannibal.
yeah, I always bite, and it's really weird. I become. It's as if I cut off everything. I'm like a little pit bull, and all my strength goes into my jaws, and I bite. That's how I got away from the little man. The little man dressed as a lady. Yes, yeah, I go calm, and I bit him right in his face.
All right. Well, Bastian, have you ever felt an unexplainable pull towards someone or something, like you were meant to follow that path without any logical reason?
What was that? The interview? You went silent.
Have you ever one or something? Like you were meant to follow that path?
Oh, yeah, of course. Like
Hello, Daisy.
I guess, like in terms of like I guess like a something like that. Yeah, like recently I've come to realize that I have. Speaking of trans individuals, I've come to realize that I have a strong relationship, or like I desire a relationship with like trans individuals, and
and stuff like that. So like I've been acquainting myself around them for quite some time. It's been like the past like year now. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. Well, it works out for you.
Yeah.
Chippy, what about you then? Have you ever felt an unexplainable pull towards someone, something like
Yes,
you were meant
yes,
to follow that
yes,
path?
yes. This one, I'm on the
Sorry?
this one. I'm on the moment the next lives path. I'm on the next life path. I'm terrified of coming back, petrified. I'm
Oh wow!
70
So
years old and I'm terrified. I've only got a few years left, and so I'm going to die. And then I don't want another. I'm terrified. Yes, it's really weird. This is very new. All this is very new. Past 6 weeks since I've met you. You know, and I first said it when I met you.
Mhm.
It's terrifying.
I would say if you've been, there's no point worrying. I would say because if you believe in bad, well, there is just bad, and there's nothing to do about it. But if you believe that the ultimate power is bad, well, there's nothing about it. So there's no point. But if you believe that the ultimate power is good, then no need to worry, is there? Ultimately, it'll work out in the end.
I'm very worried because unfortunately, I'm really starting to believe that there's more than what we're all led to believe. And I used to just believe what everyone believed. I just thought I would die and just sort of dissolve into nothingness. I
Yeah.
don't believe in heaven and hell. But I've got a horrible feeling that that doesn't happen. And I'm very new to that belief. And it's terrifying me.
Right.
Because I always thought one day I could perhaps go to Switzerland and just quietly go to sleep, and that would be the end of that. But I've got a horrible feeling that's not going to be the case. I could go to Switzerland, but that won't be the end of that. So that's my paradox at the moment. It's lovely.
Okay, darling.
Lovely feeling.
Okay, darling.
You should be interested because you're into gnosis.
I am interested in it. No, I am interested, but I'm trying to offer a kind of rational kind of way out of being worried.
Well, but you should be worried. You should be worried. I'm terrified. Petrified. I really am
Yeah.
scared. It's weird because
Jay, do you want to come on the show, brother, please? Yes, sorry, go ahead, Chippy.
I live by chickpea. Bugger off you go. Oops.
No, I never said that. Jay's in the comments.
You said what Jay said is eating at the. Oh, well done, Jay. But you should be worried.
Okay, so we'll go on to another question. I think Chippy's answered this one, but Bastian, has there been a time when you were in danger or in a high stakes moment? Did your gut instinct kick in and guide you to safety or the right decision? What did that feel like in your body and mind?
Oh yeah, there was a time last year actually. I had to do that. I almost drowned last year in a river. Yeah, it was in a whirlpool. I was during a family vacation, and there was something pulling me. It was like a type of like current, very strong, and there was no floor anymore to the ground. And I was on a floaty, but prior to that moment, I took off my floaty to arrange like my position, right? That turned out to be a horrible move or a scary move because I started to get pulled down and started to get dragged away by a current. And in that river, there was two pathways. One that was the safe way, one that was a way that was very rugged with rocks and sharp things and stuff like that. So my adrenaline kicked in and I pounced on the floaty and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. And there was, and then another time last year. Last year was pretty crazy. I was in a car crash last year.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and it was with a big Jeep that crashed our small car. It was a Nissan, and I wasn't the only one in the car though. It was also with a family member. It was yeah. So when that car hit us, it was in the front. I essentially just broke down the window and opened up the latch of the door, so I can call for help because my mom went unconscious for a bit.
Oh my
Yeah, and I think those were the only times recently that I had to,
Mm.
you know,
Mhm.
do what I needed to do to survive. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, there's been a few cases where I've been in physical alterations, with dudes, and I've had to defend myself, and that to me has been instinctual.
Yeah.
Not much thinking going on, but then I think sometimes it's just very very quick thinking. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes your thoughts are just very quick. Like I'm going to do this, do this,
Yeah,
and do this. You know,
that was my
uh,
that was my thinking at those times. I
it's
couldn't
not like
even.
there's no thinking at all. And I think sometimes it is related to your experiences. Like the more experiences you have, the more ready you are for certain things. You know what I mean? Like it's like muscle memory. Like you've seen this before, you kind of know what to do. You know what I mean? You have an expectation. Oh, I'm in this moment now. Damn, I got to do this, this, and this. And it's like it's practice. It's training almost. You know what I mean? In life, it's like when when you're confronted by something dangerous, if you've been in or trained to do something to react to that, then you are in a better position, when when it does happen, because your body is primed to go. You call it instinct, but yeah, you're thinking very quickly. You're following the procedure that you've learned. What to do. At least that's what I think.
Yeah.
Because in times when I didn't know what to do, say when I confronted by physical violence when I was younger, as a guy, you kind of, well, you were learning it in the playground down there. You were being boisterous and having play fights in the summer months in the playground and stuff. And I think, yeah, so for a lot of guys, it's instinctual. It's been built up through play fighting, like animals. I mean, like this is what animals are doing, is it? You know the way little lion cubs fight each other. I mean, that's all play fighting, but that is building up their bodies' later instinctual responses to violence and competition.
Yeah.
They're learning what to do. And it's just priming them. It's giving them the ability to think very fast later on. Okay, so when the lines go. Mouth goes from here, I'll put my paw up here and push it away, and I'll go and hit them here with my jaw. It's instinct, but it's built on experience. Yes. Actually, something interesting happened to me in the last 2 weeks. I was walking my dog late in the evening. It was getting dark, and as I was walking along this long residential road, I don't know why I had my headphones in, and I don't know why this was. It was a quiet road, okay, but suddenly I felt the urge to look around, and when I looked around, there was this geezer with a hoodie coming up behind me, really like weird, yeah, like right up against me. But like I couldn't have heard him, right? I just instinctively looked around. I never usually do that, right? When I looked around, he got all like scared, and he jumped back, and then he ran off. And I still don't know what the fuck that was about. I think he was about to attack me, and I just got him just at that very moment because he was coming right up on me, if you know what I mean, on a residential road. Like he was like creeping behind me, like right, and he's literally, when I turned around, he was a foot away, and then he put his hands up and then he ran off, and I'm thinking, well, I didn't turn around aggressively or anything. I just glanced around, There you go. Strange. Maybe I have some kind of morphic field going on, situational awareness, because it did kind of save me, I suppose, from a possible attack. The fact that I just happened to glance around. Sorry, my computer's playing up it. There we go. Yeah, your body learns, says Scott. He says, in danger, there's no time. SAS train on this. Yeah, it seems right. Seems correct. Yep. We'll keep going then. Oh, Chickpea has left, has she?
No, I'm here.
Oh no, she's here. Sorry, I was looking. Bastian left. I don't know where he went. That's unusual. Okay.
Here.
Chickpea, I'm going to do an experiment on you then, Chickpea. Okay, you got 10 seconds. I'm going to give you £1 million in 10 seconds, but you've got to tell me what you want to do with it within the next 10 seconds. 10, 9,
Open an animal
8,
sanctuary.
7, 6. So, okay, well, there you go. I just wanted to check what you do under pressure, you know.
Yeah,
There
I
you
don't
go.
want an animal sanctuary.
I want £1 million.
Wonderful. Oh, wow. Tanel has finally joined the conversation.
Yeah, I was
Tanel.
listening. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, whoever wants to come on now, please do. I don't know where Bastian went. We're missing you already. Divine, obviously, you're welcome to come back as well. Brother Marcus, if you want to come on. Anybody who wants to come on. Scott, whoever's there. Tanel, what's going on with you, brother?
Nah, not so good.
I'm sorry to hear that, mate. Sorry to hear that. I do hope the situation improves, brother.
I
Speedily.
know how you feel,
Tanel,
Tanel. I know how you feel.
Tanel, we were talking tonight about trusting your gut, the power of instinct and intuition. Has anything come to mind for you in this?
Well, I'm thinking maybe I have a guardian angel, because I've had many situations where I might have died, but maybe some guardian angel saved me.
Tell us more.
Like I had in this apartment, I've had batteries come to short circuit, and
We lost you there, Tanel. Just when he said his battery short-circuited, his
yeah,
communication.
okay.
Go ahead again. You said your
And the
battery
motor
short-circuited.
of a ventilator has stalled, and it went to also kind of a short circuit. So I have many fire dangers in this apartment, and for some reason I haven't died yet.
That's really weird. I got a phone call. Can you two talk for a second? I just got a phone call. Sorry.
Tanel.
Yeah.
I had the same happen to me when I was in Berlin. My flat nearly caught on fire. I had a phone call from an unplugged phone. The voice said to me, "Go to the kitchen." I went into the kitchen. The hot plate was red hot. Everything was ready to go up in flames, and I wouldn't be able to get out. It was a phone call from the dead, or I don't know where the phone call came from. It was unplugged.
Wow.
Yeah, this happened to me. Yeah, I should have died in a fire years ago. What do you think of my cat?
Oh, that's on your profile picture, yeah.
That's Boris. Isn't he handsome? Handsome.
Yeah,
Boris.
I love him. Absolutely
Yes, he's
love
gorgeous. I love him. Yes, I love all cats. You got any cats?
him. No, I don't.
Oh, I've got 7.
7. Wow,
7 cats.
that's a lot.
Yes, I like cats.
Did you adopt them?
Yeah, they're just X-strays and unwanted. Yeah, I love cats.
Where did you meet your cats?
On the street, they just X-strays. People bring them to me. Boris was brought to me years ago. He died 3 years ago from old age, but he was brought to me by somebody. He needed a home, so I took him in. They're all strays and unwanted.
Oh no, the cat on your profile picture no longer here.
No, he died 3 years ago. But I love him. I loved him so. I love all my cats, but I'm very fond of Boris.
Yeah. Do you have any other pictures of other cats?
Yes, but I don't know how to get him onto here. Unfortunately, I'm getting old. You know what technology's like. I can't transfer them from my phone onto here. But I've got a cat called Chickpea who comes on here sometimes. She lived for 20 years. And yeah, there's lots of cats. I've had cats all my life. Yeah. But Boris was a star. little star. Would you like to see the cat I've got? Hold on, I will just do this. You can see one of my cats. Edit avatar. Whee! Hold on. Yep, upload. Oh, wrong. Done. Oh, I can't do it. Look, so really difficult. Hold on a minute, camera. What's that? Oh. Hello?
Hello, hello.
Hello. Yes, sorry. I know what to do. Start cam. Here's the cat. Oh, that's me. But here's another cat. Look here. Look at this little doll. This is...
Aww. Meow.
Say hello, Poppy.
Beautiful. How old? How old?
She's 4. 4 years old. Little hackney.
A real character.
Yes, she is. Can you see it in her face?
Yes.
She's a real...
Say meow from me.
She looks a little bit bossy.
She is very... How can you see that? She is such a bossy madam. Her name is Madam Poppy, and she's a real madam. Can you see it in her face?
Her name is Madam Bossy, yeah? Okay.
Madam Poppy. She's a really bossy cat, and bosses me about. And here's another cat. I'll show you this one. Hold on, here's another one. And this is Bella Bugs. Bella Bugs doesn't want to play. Bella. You see her?
Wow.
Yeah, lovely.
Bella. There. There's a few more laying around the place. They're everywhere. All 7 of them. Oh, here's Daisy.
Wonderful.
Yes, hold on. Daisy, come to Mum. She doesn't want to. Daisy, hold on. Right, last one. And here's Daisy doll.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. Lovely. Beautiful. Hello, Daisy.
Meow.
Okay.
But have you ever seen a cat who you unfortunately cannot rescue because you already have 7?
Yeah, a few weeks ago I was looking after a local cat, and she was pregnant, and I couldn't get her to thingy. And then on the Saturday morning, I found her laying dead on the street with one of her kittens.
Oh no!
It was terrible, heartbreaking.
You told us about that. Yeah.
Did I? Oh.
Did you?
Gosh, you've got a good memory.
Anybody else want to come on here before I shut this down? We are meandering topic, but you can come on here and talk if you want to. Tanel, anything at all about instinct or intuition or like these types of things where you've reacted kind of without knowing why you're doing it, but you've reacted very strongly to something and chosen a path for your life without maybe deep thought, but just based on gut instinct,
I don't know. I talked about those life-endangering situations, but I don't know further. I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. Nothing from the show tonight resonated with you.
Well, I wasn't listening to all of this, but I was listening.
I don't blame you. Okay. By the way, Tanel, have you got anything to put Chickpea at ease here? She's feeling very worried about the next life. No. She's feeling very worried about the next life. Can you kind of help her with feeling a little bit more at ease, or is it something you worry about it as well?
Next life?
Yeah.
She's gonna be reborn into another life.
Terrified. I believe in reincarnation. I never used to, but I do now.
What made you start believing it?
What?
I kind of believe
made you start thinking?
We are all universal consciousness.
Yes, I'm not happy yet. I don't want more consciousness. I've had enough of this 70 years of consciousness. I want oblivion. And I want oblivion. I've had it.
I would hate the idea of being reborn and forgetting everything I've learned in this life.
Yes.
This would be so this would be so bad, so stupid, so fucking.
Yeah, but you know what? You hear these Indian children talking about being reborn, everything. I believe them. I don't think they're lying. Plus, I think about myself. There's weird things about me that don't make sense, and I've got a horrible feeling.
Okay, brother Marcus, thanks for joining us. Take care, brother.
Horrible feeling. Because I've got things I could do that I don't know how I could do them. No, it's something very new for me. I've only been like this the past couple of months, but I'm very worried about it. All these archons and all these things, terrifying. Because I believe it. So what are your plans?
Plans for future lives.
Well, for when you die, what are your, are you going to go to the light or are you going to just go into the dark?
How can I know before I die? I don't know before I die.
Yeah. Well, there are those who say, who've come back, talk about this corridor of light. And if you go into the corridor of light, blah, blah, blah. No one talks about if they go into the dark, they don't come back ever. Or as far as we know, I don't know. That's what I mean. Don't know. But I'm very.
Going to the light sounds good.
No, you mustn't. No, that's what you mustn't do.
Why not?
Because apparently the people who have reincarnated talk about the fact that they went into the light and they've come back reincarnated.
So that's kind of a disappointment then.
Yes. Great. I mean, great if you want to be reincarnated, fabulous. But if you don't, I think that this earth is just a recycling plant. Just recycle us, just recycle our souls for another 70 years to feed off the energy. I'm depressed and grumpy guts. Grumpy guts. He's gone.
No, I'm here.
You get depressed about all this, don't you?
I get depressed about the possibility of coming back here. Is that what you said?
Yes.
No, I don't really. I just think that there's no point in getting depressed about it, because if there's a power that immense that is causing these things to happen, it's either good or bad. If it's bad, well, there's no point worrying about it because it will just happen anyway. If it's good, well, there's no need to worry about it because it's good.
Well, I don't believe it's good. I don't believe it's good, and I just do not believe that, because this planet, in my opinion, is nothing but a great big slaughterhouse anyway. But you know how I feel about all that. And I don't believe that any.
But can you briefly tell her about the near-death experience evidence you've encountered as you've studied the subject?
Well, the evidence.
Guys, I'm just going to make a red bush tea. I'll be right back.
The evidence is all anecdotal. There is no hard evidence. But I believe the anecdotal evidence, I guess.
Yeah. Yes, I do. So what's happened to you then?
Nothing's happened to me yet. I haven't had any of that experience.
Oh, I thought you said you'd had a weird experience where you should have died but didn't, that something happened to stop it from happening.
Well, yeah. It can be sort of called near-death experience, but no. I didn't have any kind of spiritual experience. It was just I might have died.
All right. Because I find it all very because what I don't understand is, how do we get to exist anyway? Who has the right to bring us into existence? Who has that right? In my opinion. Well,
my late mother used to tell me that children are being born from love.
Yeah.
I don't think that.
No, that I don't believe.
That is selfish. That is selfish.
That is selfish, yes. Yes, I'm an antinatalist. I've never had children.
I'm
I never will.
also antinatalist, vegan
Yes. Good.
antinatalist.
Oh, good. You're like me. Yeah, I've been a vegan all my life nearly, and an antinatalist. The best way to be. But yeah, it's a shame you're so young because I'm an old lady. I've only got a few years left. Yeah. That's
By the
why I'm
way,
so,
when I found this channel, TMW, then I was not vegan yet. But
oh, are you vegan?
who convinced me? I guess it was this Nick.
I can't remember who that would be. You've probably been coming here longer than I have. I've only been coming here for about 2 months. I've been a vegan since I was a little girl. Started very young. Yeah. And I'm glad. I'm so glad that I've been a vegan. So happy. At least got something
It must have been even harder back then, I guess.
Yes, it used to be. It's so easy now. When I was young, but my mother used to go mad, so I wouldn't eat what she cooked for me. And then 70s and 80s, I had to look after myself. And it was so expensive to be a vegan. It was really difficult. Yeah, it's very easy nowadays. Soy milk's cheap. Mind you, there was back in the 70s and 60s, I had peanuts and peanut butter and stuff. So it wasn't that difficult. I managed. Always eat lots of nuts and fruit. Yeah. So, yeah. I'm glad. I think the world should be vegan. And if I was in charge, the world would be vegan. All of us. But I'm not in charge. I don't like meat eaters. Disapproving. I think it's wrong. Yeah,
I wonder if many vegans have been through those same stages as I. Because
probably,
at the start, I was in disbelief. I just couldn't believe how so many people, even after they become aware of the atrocities, they still support them.
Yeah, no, it's terrible, isn't it?
And I was just for a few months, I guess.
Yeah.
I was in disbelief. I just couldn't believe that I was in a hell like this.
Yeah, I've believed it all my. Yeah, I back in 1968. One of the major newspapers in the UK did a big expose on Factory Farm. I was 14 at the time when I really learned all about it. And I bought half a dozen copies and I was trying to convince everybody to look at it. People don't care. And they just don't care.
Yeah, I just had to accept this as well, that I have friends that don't care.
Don't care.
I just have to accept I take them as animal abusers.
Yes.
But I accept that I can't change them.
You
and
can't change them.
I still want to be friends with them because I don't want to be alone.
Yes.
I have to live in this 99% animal abusing society.
Yes. Yes, I know every word you're saying. Every single word. And you could have a whole lifetime of it. How old are you now?
37. I turned 37 eight days ago. 37.
Oh, happy birthday. So you're still a baby. Well, yet to me, you're a baby. Yeah, so you've got many more years of it. But congratulations. More vegans are better.
Oh, I don't like those numbers anymore. This is it's getting, the numbers are getting too big.
What, the birth numbers?
Yeah, 37. It's just like, whoa.
Yes. Wait to get to 70. Mind you, as a vegan, you won't age as quickly because we don't age so quickly as meat eaters do. Nobody can believe I'm 70. Nobody. Everyone thinks I'm in my sort of 50s.
My mother lived to 70, and then she exited.
Yes. Oh, I'm still going strong. Yeah, I'm still going strong. Because we don't age as quickly. And we don't. Even doctors say it. Vegans age much slower. Because we're not supposed to eat meat. I don't care anyone has to say. I don't care anyone says. We're not supposed to. But yeah, world be a better place if we didn't. Yeah. Yeah. So what's your favorite vegan meal?
Favorite vegan meal?
Yeah. Or your favorite vegan food?
I don't know. I eat a lot of this minced soy in tomato
Yes.
sauce.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And in a place that I go do sound engineering, they have like chickpea curry, and I like
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Your chickpea.
Chickpea. Chickpea. The chickpea. I used to have Chickpea was a cat, and Chickpea. She'd been hand raised, and she used to try and she used to want me to feed my vegan food into her little mouth like a bird, which is why she's called Chickpea. Chickpea. Yeah, she was the most gorgeous cat. That's a picture of her here. Chickpea. I adored her. She was Chickpea was the love of my life. I've never loved anyone like I loved Chickpea. There she is.
Oh, you changed it, yeah.
She's beautiful.
I would love to see your cats. I would love to pet them.
Yes, they are gorgeous. You should get yourself some cats. There's nothing in the world.
I can't handle myself yet, but maybe if I can get my life together, then maybe I can offer someone
Well, you know, cats actually, because cats give you a reason to live. You have to look after the cat. You know? Do you ever watch the YouTube videos of cats? Like, do you watch Catman 757? He looks after a load of cats in America somewhere. There's loads of cat videos online. Lovely, all sorts of different cats. Yeah. Yeah. No one in the world is nice as a cat. Nobody. Yeah. I wonder where DNW's gone.
Say meow from me to every one of your cats.
Meow. There's a Daisy. Meow, Daisy. They're all sitting around everywhere. I wonder where DNW's gone. But anyway, stick with the veganism, okay? You mustn't give up, even though people will tell you to. Because you will get people saying, oh, stop being such a Nancy boy and everything. And they will. Yeah. So, yeah.
By the way, something is wrong with my left hand or brain. I don't know.
What do you mean? Are you left-handed?
No, I'm right-handed, but my left hand doesn't follow my brain's orders very well.
Well, it won't do, because if you're right-handed, right-handed people use the left side of their brain, and left-handed people use the right side of their brain.
Yeah, I know, it's crossed. Yeah.
Yeah, and the world is a right-handed place, so I have the same in my right hand. I'm left-handed, and if I use my right hand, I become very bad-tempered. It's really
Something
weird.
is wrong. I can't move my left hand.
Oh no!
Normally, something is wrong.
What is it? Painful?
I don't know if it's what is this? A brain aneurysm? I don't know what's going on.
Does it hurt?
It doesn't hurt, but I just can't move my left hand as I would want to.
Have you Googled it? You know, if you go to Google, you can ask Google questions, and it comes up with loads of answers. Or go to ChatGPT, and you'll get an answer. They will give you one.
Maybe I should go to the ER, and then they're gonna just do some brain scans or something.
I don't know. Yeah.
Googling is not gonna help me. I know about this. You can
Right.
Google forever, but you don't get any. You don't get any smarter actually if you don't get real analysis, and they have to study you.
Yeah, I don't know what to say.
Hello there. Sorry, guys, I was in the other room. But listen. To now, I would say get down the bloody hospital, mate. If that's happening to you.
Maybe I should go to.
How long has this been going on?
I guess some 8 hours or something.
Oh fuck! Man. Go to the hospital, bro. You need to go to the hospital. If you can't move your left hand, your brain is trying to do it. There's something going on there, bro. Get to the hospital.
I can. It's just not moving as well as it used to. I can move my left hand, but it's not moving as well as it used to move.
When you say it's not moving as well as it used to, what do you mean? Hello to UF Dogs. Hello to Divine Hazel. When you say it's not moving as well as it used to, what do you mean?
Well, I can still move my hand, but it's not listening to my brain's commands as well.
Oh dear. Could be your heart.
I would say get to the hospital. Divine Hazel says left hand is heart related, so yeah.
Oh.
If you're having weird problems with your brain, yeah, Tanel, I would say get it checked out, mate. There's no harm going and get an ECG and get your, your heart checked out and your pulse and all that, blood pressure, all that.
Yeah,
Okay.
at least I'm not afraid of dying anymore.
But you don't want to die horribly. So, yeah, go to the A&E. Don't bother talking to us. Go to the hospital. And I wish you the best, brother. Let us know how it goes, yeah?
I'm gonna go if it doesn't get better in 4 hours. I'm gonna go to the hospital.
Dear W, can I say
Yes.
something? Do you
Yeah.
know anyone do you get arthritis in your hands?
No, I don't.
Do you know anyone that does?
Yeah, I know a few people who get arthritis.
I have found the most amazing cure for arthritis in the hands, and it's called a peanut massager, and it's got all spikes on it. And when you rub the sore points on your hands with this thing, it clears up the pain, and it actually works. Go to Amazon, you can see it. You type in peanut, blah blah. It's a
Peanut
blue
massager.
thing. Yeah, peanut massager. Really, it really works.
Okay.
If you know anyone, it's only £8. They've got nothing to lose.
Well, I'm glad it was working for you. Anyway, guys, I think we better tune out for the night and relax. But Tanel, please get yourself to the hospital, man, if that's continuing. And definitely, if it deteriorates in any way, even more, get there as soon as possible, I would say, Tanel. That's not normal, mate. Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
And let us know in the comments how you are, because we do care about you, you know?
When are you going to do a thing on did you see that thing about Susan Ehrlich? She said she reckons that the reason why there's so much depression in society is because we have a crazy optimism about life. Because I believe that.
Yeah.
You know Susan Ehrlich, the writer?
No, what's her name? Sorry?
Barbara Ehrenreich. Barbara Ehrenreich. And she said somewhere, she was talking about depression within society. She's a fabulous writer. And
Right.
she was saying that she believes that it was society's crazy optimism that is causing this pandemic of depression. Because there's a lot of it about. A lot. Be a nice, interesting discussion. Depression. It
would be. It would be. That would be a good conversation. Thanks for that.
Yes,
we will delve into that at some point. All right, guys. Thank you everybody who tuned in. Thank you to everybody who watches it later on. I do hope you're well. We did a little chat about instinct. It's a difficult subject because sometimes our instincts are wrong. But the best you can do is confront reality with what you know. And if it's not working, question what you know and try to forge a better path forward, you know, with yourself in mind, with your own well-being in mind. And hopefully it works out for you. That's all I can say at the moment. I am tired, so I'm going to let this one go. Go ahead. I'll give you the last words there, guys. Chickpea, you have your last few words, and then Tanel. Go ahead.
Janelle, go to the hospital, okay? Janelle, hospital. He's not answering.
Janelle, are you there?
Yeah,
Go to the hospital.
probably in a few hours. Yeah.
Yeah, you should go. I don't know what to say. You've got something I've never heard of before. Bye, Grumpy Guts.
All right, love you, and I'll love you and leave you then. Take care, everybody. Janelle, get your ass down to the
Bye,
hospital, mate.
Janelle.
Take care, everyone. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.